hoping to secure the contract on Project Sparrow, which would be awesome for my company and my employees where I could grow. And so I just came to speak in favor of it because it's good for the economy. People don't understand how it pulls on the grid. They think, oh, it's going to eat up all the power. You're not going to have no water. It's a low demand system. It's state of the art. When people are asleep, it uses power. It uses power. It doesn't use power when you need to cook and wash and clean, and then that loads the power company's pocket up with more money so they can lay off your power bill. So you don't have to pay another $50. See? So yeah, $400,000 a month for power is a lot more than $300 or $400 like we all pay in our own houses.
Greg, you're talking to us.
I'm sorry. But that, I don't want to take up your time. I want to let you know that I'm in favor of the project because it will help my company, the community, and let me hire more employees. And the power grid is already on the decline anyway. You've got LED lighting that slowly we've lowered the power grid. Now you got car chargers, it's kicked it back up. The power company needs more revenue to keep the stations and the stuff going. They have to fix the grid. The citizens end up paying all that money on a $500-600 a month power bill instead of the Project Sparrow paying $200,000 a month for power. They're helping the citizens, whether they believe it or not, on the power bill. And I'm just an electrician, so that's my say. I'm not going to take your time up, and I appreciate you. But thank you.
Thank you. How about Brian Stone? Brian Stone. Brian Stone.
Like, man, well, this is not right. This is worse than city council.
I see.
I knew it was going to be crazy. I just knew it. This is because we don't know.
Hey, Brian.
How are you? Thank you. I'm Brian Stone. I'm a resident of Spartanburg County for the last 20 years, during which I served as the head of Lockhart Power. I'm speaking out in support of Project Sparrow to represent the economic interests of all Lockhart Power customers, as well as the economic interests of all Spartanburg County residents, and I'll tell you why. Lockhart Power's customers have not had a base rate increase in 12 years. A main reason is that we have existing data customers who are paying more than our total cost to serve them. The excess revenues go to help offset increases in our costs to serve our other customers, which helps us delay a base rate increase. Let me be perfectly clear. Project Sparrow will help us keep our rates lower than they would be without the project, period. Lockhart will buy the power for the project wholesale from Duke, who has said that they've taken steps to ensure that new data centers will pay more than their fair share of costs on Duke's system. Some clarifications about the project size. It's a 100 megawatt data center as proposed. 50 megawatts of that will be served by Lockhart Power's existing system that serves the existing industrial park. Some of this 50 megawatts is power being used by a nearby data company related to Project Sparrow, and an estimated 15 to 25 megawatts of capacity will be redirected from that project to Project Sparrow. The other 50 megawatts is expected to be served by an on-site microgrid powered by natural gas. Therefore, if we do the math, initially this 100 megawatt project is estimated to add only 25 to 35 megawatts of net load to the industrial park grid. Project Sparrow may expand over time if additional power capacity can be provided. To be perfectly clear, we will not add customer load until we've obtained the capacity needed to serve that load without risking our ability to serve existing customers. Lockhart has already begun pursuing additional capacity for a possible expansion, since that'll take at least several years to do. One requirement for more capacity is that our transmission agreement with Duke would have to be changed to add a new delivery substation. Duke requested this change from FERC, the federal regulatory body. Under that request, the project would pay more than the entire $40 million cost of a new substation and related changes. That comes from the project. However, FERC rejected that request based on some technical concerns that there might be additional long-term impact on our customers. Duke is working with FERC, from my understanding, to either provide supporting information to address FERC's concerns, or if necessary, amend the request to FERC's satisfaction. Either way, other transmission customers will be protected. This highlights the fact that all parties, the utilities, the regulators, state and federal, and the project itself are all committed to address any risk of transferring power costs associated with the project to any other customers. If we can get additional capacity, 50 megawatts of it would eventually replace the 50 megawatts in the initial microgrid, and the rest would be used to power a second phase in the building adjacent to the first phase. This is existing excess transmission system capacity that would use to be served that future phase. They wouldn't be building new transmission lines. It's existing excess capacity that is not being used today. If it's not used to benefit Spartanburg County, it will be used to benefit other counties, either in South Carolina or in North Carolina. That capacity will be used, and it will be paid for by whatever company winds up using that power. There are questions about power availability in the South Carolina and North Carolina grid. Is the grid enough to serve everybody's load? Those are some concerns that were expressed by customers. There's reasonable concerns, good questions, because they got a Duke notification during the winter storm, which asked people to cut back on unnecessary power usage during severely cold hours. This is not because Duke doesn't have enough power to supply the entire load in its system. First, Duke and other utilities like Duke have a lot of cushion in their generation portfolio. They have a reserve margin that's typically between 15 to 20% of the highest peak load they've ever experienced. Second, Duke and other utilities have a 15-year planning process to make sure that their load growth projections are met by the generation supply that they're able to provide. That has public input as a process. It's updated every 2 years, and it has to go through the state regulators in both states, North and South Carolina. And those regulators ensure that capacity, the reserve margin, remains robust. The public appeal process that caused some local concern, and that's what I'm calling when Duke sent out the notification, Duke says, hey, please cut back during the worst, the highest peak hours. That's a long-standing mechanism that utilities use mostly to relieve strain on local substations and local distribution lines that may be close to fully loaded. The reason for that is that serves, those save Duke's customers many millions of dollars. It saves Duke's customers many millions of dollars since Duke doesn't have to design every church for an Easter Sunday. There's more. I'd be happy.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to address questions.
Thank you.
William Crawford. William Crawford.
William Crawford. I think he's coming.
How about Lisa?
Oh, he's coming.
He's coming.
I saw her
How much
waving
time's
about.
left in the public hearing? How much time do we have total? How much time?
We started at 5:15. We probably started this at
I need to keep the fucking
5:30. We probably got enough time for one more.
Regardless, they're gonna give him 5 minutes. So you'll get him to go?
On what topic?
On that exact topic that you just talked about.
What's your name? You're not signed up.
Yeah, he is.
I think he's signed up. He's signed Johnson Development, I'm an executive there, and I want to talk about the power.
Okay.
And we'll get William next.
Hey.
So thank you for hearing me quickly. I want to directly talk about what the last speaker talked about. My name is Chris Callahan. I'm an officer at Johnson Development Associates. I'm actually here to speak in opposition to Project Sparrow. I want to focus on a critical issue that has not received transparency or really any of the public disclosure that it deserves. In December, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission rejected a proposed transmission agreement between Duke Energy and Lockhart. So exactly what you just heard about, it was rejected. This agreement was submitted specifically to power this project, It requested 200 megawatts of power, double the 100 that was just discussed. It was submitted and ruled on December 25th, 2025. Let me repeat that. It's 200 megawatts. It's not speculation. It's what Duke and Lockhart applied for, and the feds rejected it. They rejected it. Why did they reject it? Because the proposed cost structure risked shifting the burden of this massive infrastructure investment onto the ratepayers. So basically, they rejected it because it's going to cost the community more. The feds found that the agreement lacked sufficient cost support and failed to protect existing customers from unjustified cost increases. Be happy to provide a document showing that. This isn't just a technicality, it's a huge red flag for the project, and it's something that y'all should consider. We've been told repeatedly that this project will not raise rates, that it will be served by existing infrastructure, that it's going to strengthen the grid. But the federal regulator, the one agency with the authority and the expertise to evaluate these claims, denied the application. They saw the same risks that residents have been raising for months and rejected the agreement. So I ask, why hasn't this been discussed with the public? Why hasn't Tiger DC, Lockhart, or Duke come forward to explain that their plan was rejected? Why haven't we demanded answers about this before calling a second hearing? And why, if the project only needs 100 megawatts, did they apply for 200 megawatts? So why would a company pay for that much capacity? And it's about $40 million if they didn't intend to use the capacity. Those expansions are just going to further strain our infrastructure and increase costs to consumers as drafted currently. These aren't minor details. They go to the heart of whether this project is being presented honestly and whether the county is making decisions based on complete and accurate information. So I urge the county to delay any further action on this project until those questions are answered and there's transparency. I would just think about it. So thank you.
Gotten these. Who's on the next one? The public hearing. Yeah. That person hadn't talked yet. How about this one? Gotta get Jeff Allen.
Jeff Allen. Has it been 30 minutes? Jeff Allen?
John Wall, I'm saying Wall.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, members of council, thank you so much for your time this evening. My name is John Wall with Burr Foreman Law Firm, formerly the McNair Law Firm in Columbia. And I have the honor and privilege of representing Project Sparrow on the economic development incentives. Spartanburg has long been a business-friendly and it has a national reputation for being so. This company is not new to Spartanburg County, and the leadership of Tiger DC has operated this digital infrastructure facility that you've heard of tonight since 2022 without any issues. It has been properly permitted, responsibly constructed, and operated without disruption. The CEO and the leadership team behind this project have over 70 years of experience in these types of projects. From an economic development standpoint, the impact is significant. The project is expected to generate nearly $250 million in property tax revenue over the next 30 years, making it, if it moves forward, one of the largest taxpayers in the county. That is the equivalent of thousands of new residential homes, without adding thousands of new students to schools, without new residential growth, traffic congestion, and without additional strain on county services. The company is committed to creating approximately 50 jobs, all double the county per capita income wage level of $100,000 annually. The company has been transparent. Importantly, the project has adhered to the standards in the law, in the fee in lieu of tax statute and the county's protocols. which is all covered in the statute. There's one point that needs to be stated clearly. This project has not changed. The scope, investment, infrastructure plan, and projected impact are consistent with what has been presented since negotiations began in early of 2025. Rather than move directly to final approval, the company voluntarily slowed the process at the county's recommendation to allow additional public engagement, like we've had here tonight and had over the past couple months. That was not required by statute. That was done in good faith. Over the past several months, questions have been raised about utilities, water usage, zoning, environmental oversight, and even about the citizenship and background of the company leadership. Every one of those questions have been addressed. The company has participated in town halls. It has engaged with the press. Utilities have clarified power and water questions, and detailed information has been provided regarding water usage, electrical service, zoning, and regulatory oversight. Even when the questions became personal in nature, they were answered professionally and directly. This is not the conduct of a company attempting to avoid scrutiny. This is the conduct of a company operating transparently and in good faith. On infrastructure, the fact remains straightforward. The site is already zoned industrial, will be served by existing industrial utility infrastructure, requires only minimal water use, and has the ability to self-generate a portion of its power. This is a heavily regulated infrastructure-based project, not an unmonitored development. It also is aligned with the broader state and national priorities. The project team has met with representatives of Government Master's Office, and at the national level, President Trump and others have emphasized that American leadership in artificial intelligence and critical digital infrastructure is a matter of national security. This facility contributes directly to that goal. As a former service member, special operations officer, deploying 5 times overseas, warfare is transforming at an unprecedented rate. This project is critical to our national security. We have been known as a...
Come on. Don't let them do that.
There you go for the first time. There you go.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Finally, predictability matters. Spartanburg's economic success has been built upon that predictability. Spartanburg County's longstanding success in economic development is built on fairness and reliability. The company remains willing to continue answering any questions in the weeks leading up to third reading, to second reading, however you all decide to proceed. For these reasons, substantial tax revenue, high-wage jobs, minimal community impact, adherence to the law, and good faith engagement, we respectfully urge County Council to support this project. Thank you very much for your time.
I think that's all. That's all the public hearing, isn't it? All the public hearing stuff?
Into public hearing time.
Mr. Chairman, you have about 1:20 left in public hearing. You could hear another individual.
This is public comment.
Takes 2 on public hearing. I think it's what she said. Is there anybody else on here? Yeah. She said William Crawford, did he ever say that?
Is he here? Is William Crawford here? William Crawford?
No, get licking.
How about Lisa Gickling? You're here?
A minute?
Go ahead.
Good evening, Chairman Lynch, members of County Council, and neighbors. My name is Lisa Gicking. I'm here tonight as a Spartan County resident, taxpayer, not an expert, not a lobbyist, not benefiting in any way, but to just speak what's on my mind. I'm here to speak in support of Project Spiro. Like a lot of folks, when I heard about a data center, I had questions. I wanted to know how would it affect our power, our water. quality of life. I think those are all practical questions, and I appreciated that the county and the company involved have taken steps to have transparency instead of brushing off those questions. What stands out to me most about Project Spiro is it brings major benefits to Spartanburg County without placing new burdens on taxpayers or forcing population growth to pay the bills. It represents a massive private investment in our county that will generate millions of dollars in new tax revenue every year. That revenue can help support public safety, roads, schools, infrastructure, without raising taxes on families like mine. We all know how growth usually works. Residential growth costs money before it ever makes money. More houses mean more traffic, more pulls on our already strained infrastructure. Project Spiro flips that model on its head. It's exactly the kind of growth that we should be prioritizing. I also want to speak to the bigger picture. President Trump has been very clear that America must lead in AI, data infrastructure, and national security technology, not China, not foreign competitors. Data centers are not just warehouses with computers. They are the backbone of defense systems, medical research, manufacturing, and our economic competitiveness. Projects like Spiro help ensure America and places like Spartanburg County, the place I call home, are part of that future instead of watching it happen somewhere else. And more importantly, this project does that while operating in an industrial area, using industrial utility infrastructure and under strict state and federal oversight, which has been mentioned earlier in the evening. From everything that has been shared publicly, and I have been paying attention, I've done my homework. This facility is designed to avoid stressing residential systems and be a responsible, long-term corporate citizen. I've also noticed the goodwill shown towards Spartanburg County, the emphasis on the long-term partnership, local investment, and doing things the right way. This is not a fly-by-night operation. It is a company that understands its success is tied to our success. At the end of the day, the decision comes down to values. Do we want growth that strengthens our tax base without raising taxes? Do we want to support American leadership in AI and critical infrastructure, or let our enemies like China outpace us in that area? Do we want smart industrial development that helps pay for county priorities without overwhelming our neighborhoods? For me, the answers are yes. Project Spiro represents a rare opportunity to move Spartanburg County forward in a responsible, fiscally conservative way, and I urge council to support it. Thank you for your time, and thank you all for your service to our county.
I think it's all for public comment.
That's all the public comment. All right, so we're going to move on to items requiring a vote following executive session.
Yes, sir. I have a motion from executive session. I move that we authorize the county administrator and county attorney to proceed to acquire real property for the Public Works Department as discussed in executive session.
Second. Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize the county administrator and county attorney to proceed to acquire real property for the Parks Department as discussed in executive session.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Any discussion?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I move that we authorize the county administrator and the county attorney to proceed to acquire real property for the Parks Department as discussed in executive session.
Second.
A motion and a second. Do I have any discussion on this item? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? That item carries.
Next item, Mr. Chairman, is the selection of vice chairperson. I would like to nominate Jack Mabry to be our vice chair.
I second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion on Jack Mabry? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Thank you.
All right. Michael Bakota, if he hadn't gotten.
Oh, there he comes.
There he is. You didn't know it was going to be so much fun down here tonight, did you?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the County Council. Happy to be here tonight and showcasing what the work of Spartanburg Community College is doing for our wonderful community in the proud interest of the motto, dream it, chase it, live it. And so we all are focused on economic development and growth and opportunity in our community, and showcasing what we do at our institution is exciting, innovative, and I'd say breaking new grounds both locally, statewide, and nationally. So I'm excited to share with you tonight our 5 campuses, one mission, endless opportunities. 3 of those campuses are located right here in Spartanburg County. You might be aware of them. Our Giles campus out on Business 85, that was the traditional campus. Our downtown campus, of which we renovated back in 2015, which has been incredible. And then our Tiger River campus, which is our Spark Center, where we launch companies from all over the world. Cherokee County campus, which continues to grow and thrive, and our Union County campus as well. And so our region is poised for success, and we're at the center of all of the training, development, and educational opportunity for our citizens.
Yes.
I really focus on the mission of the college with regards to what we're empowered to do, what we're trying to do as a sense of what our values are. And our mission empowers our region, our SEC empowers our region through exceptional, innovative, holistic experiences that accelerate economic development and provide an educated community committed to lifelong learning and financial prosperity. Lifelong learning and financial prosperity in the sense that...
Dr. Makota, can you hold on one second?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, are we able to close the doors? I'm pretty
I
sure
would
we
like
are.
to. Can we get that noise coming in from the hallway stopped? I mean, shut the doors or something?
Please give anybody who wants to come in an opportunity to come in. Please let anybody who has the opportunity to come in, and then please close the doors so that we can be respectful for our presenters. And if this gentleman needs to, officer, if this gentleman needs to be taken out, then please take him out. Jesus Christ.
He might be down here. Who is he? I don't know. He might be.
At this point, Mr. Chairman, I would ask that anybody who makes a public outburst, that the officers be empowered to remove them. Mr. Chairman.
Suits me.
All right, officers, as you just heard, Mr. Chairman, anyone that makes a public outburst, please remove them on your own. All right. Yeah. Well, you'll see me outside if you have a problem with me, young man. Thank you.
What the hell is going on?
Thank you, officers. Dr. Makota, please continue. Officers, please close the door so Mr. Makota can finish his presentation. Excuse me.
Thank you so much. If you go back today is President's Day, right? So we're focused on President's Day and our grand national celebration of George Washington's birthday. But in our founding document, the Declaration of Independence, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness is what we want to do at Spartanburg Community College, and that's focused on that committed lifelong learning and financial prosperity. It starts with education. It starts with the individual. It starts for their chase to live and prosper. And we're a recognized, respected, and innovative leader, but our vision is to continue to break new ground in multiple areas. So at the heart of what we do is provide the skills that you can put to work right away. And so we pride ourselves in a vision of being an applied higher education institution that shares in the value that any of these programs or schools of learning, I challenge you to look at and showcase that they provide a return on investment to our citizenry, and we provide those pathways for jobs and ample opportunities for growth and prosperity. And in some of these areas, as we look into the future, it's going to be critical that we continue to invest and focus in on the future, because all of these are going to be critical infrastructure for Spartanburg County to grow. When you think about advanced manufacturing industrial technologies, we're known for that with our resources and what we're able to provide. But think about the business, computer, engineering technologies, the public health, transportation and logistics. We're at a day and age where things are changing so rapidly with regards to this technology. And I would offer to you that we're already building in with our new strategic plan, which I'll talk about in a little bit, ways in which we can apply the knowledge in a cost-effective and in a way that has the highest return on investment for our citizens and for the communities in which we serve. This is a stat sheet I like to show because we are the largest higher education institution in Spartanburg County. Last year, we served over 10,000 students. This is a showing of our demographics, but also 91% of our students call Spartanburg, Cherokee, and Union counties home. So our investments are tied right here, and we continue to make great strides at our commencement ceremonies where we showcase more than 1,000 graduates over the last couple of years. But that number over there in the left-hand corner is very prideful for me because we have a 90.1% placement rate. So when our students graduate and go out into the world, they're placed in a field of study or they transfer at a 90.1% level. That's pretty incredible. And I also like to tout that we are the most affordable and accessible higher education institution in South Carolina because we take all of our resources and use those resources in the most functional way in order to put that back in the hands of the students and also back in the hands of the families and the citizens that reside here in Spartanburg County and our region as a whole. We have just completed our most recent strategic plan, Preparing to Chase. And several years ago, I said we weren't able to set the trajectory that I had in my vision to go out and set the national trend with regards to higher education. And so we needed to prepare. So back in 2022, 2023, we started to prepare for our chase. And over that time, we continue to see our enrollment expand, our licensure exam performance rates beat benchmark levels, and our student persistence and retention and graduation outcomes have increased through our partnerships and support services for our students. So not only have we grown in enrollment, but we continue to invest in that student success, and our outcomes are showing at a national level, and we're getting a lot of recognition for that. We just launched in January internally our new strategic plan, and we'll be publicly launching that once we finish our KPIs. I had a meeting about that today, and making sure that we set the KPIs in a way that challenge and are aggressive with regards to output. But we are very proud because now, after preparing through that last strategic plan, we are going to chase excellence and we're going to lead growth. We're going to lead growth not just here, but in South Carolina and be a model, a national model, and actually an international model for how higher education is changing and advancements. Because we have the highest return on investment based on the amount of resources that we put in, and I think that's going to stack into levels for more opportunity for more citizens, and I think higher education is going to need to be able to adapt to meet that need, and we're already at a very strong point in doing that for our citizens here in Spartanburg County. There on your table, I actually dropped off an annual report. It is public, but I gave you a hard copy version, but anybody can go to our website to take a look at our annual report. Very proud of the showcase. That gives you a lot of information and data on a yearly basis of what we're able to accomplish and what we do. And it's pretty incredible, all the work that we're able to do, both on an economic development front, but also from a standpoint of ensuring that we have a very educated and highly skilled educational capacity here in Spartanburg County. And we talk about investments, we talk about capital, we talk about infrastructure, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the talent, it's not going to much matter if you have all those infrastructure investments if you don't have the people and the citizens that can connect to the opportunities that exist right here in Spartanburg County. And that's what we pride ourselves with doing. So please review that annual report. Be happy to answer your questions you may have, but I'm very proud of what we've been able to showcase as a college. This slide is pretty telling based on Dr. Makota coming in at the height of the pandemic, or the beginning of the pandemic in July of 2020. And at the time, I remember going around and we were all concerned about the COVID-19 pandemic, and I had to introduce myself to campus and to the community in a time where I had to stay socially distanced, or I had to be on film or discuss or engage, and it was very challenging. But at the time, I remember telling all of our staff and the faculty at Spartanburg Community College that, number one, this too shall pass. And number two, we have an opportunity to set a new day and age as a focus on what we'll be able to achieve. And I mentioned at the time, because I study, horticulture and water resources and whatnot at Clemson University with regards to policy. And if you ever go out to California and the giant redwoods and the grand sequoias out there, they have these pine cones that fall off. And the pine cones don't actually open up and the seeds don't pop out until there's a high level of heat. So they take fire. They need fire in order to do that. And I used to say those seeds will pop out and they'll grow and they'll expand, and then those new seedlings will start to grow. And I said, that's the opportunity that we have here at Spartanburg Community College. Unbeknownst to me, one of my horticulture faculty went and planted a sequoia redwood, and now that tree, a couple of years ago, when it was my height, is planted in my front yard. And so it's exciting to see the opportunity that we can set by planting those seeds that long after we're gone, those great successes and what we're able to do at challenging times, because leaders at challenging times make the decisions that are right to set the forevalue of what that will reap the benefits of. And I was happy to do that at a time, and look at what we've been doing since that time. So we had 10 years of declining enrollment, and now we're sitting past 7,000 students. That's the academic side of the house. I'll show you the numbers specifically for Spartanburg County as well. What we've been able to do incredibly over the past several years was to offer tuition-free scholarships that focus on opportunities for citizens to take advantage of their skill sets without having the burden of resources that they either have to have in debt or to return to learn. Back in 2021, Spartanburg Community College was the first in the state to launch that initiative after we received Higher Education Emergency Relief Act funds from the federal government. And I was very proud to put that in the hands of our citizens. I was not in Washington at the time. I've gone on the record to say I didn't vote for those particular resources, but I was happy to use them, and I didn't want to send them anywhere else. We were going to use them right here to have those citizens do that. And fortunately, at the time, Governor McMaster took some of those resources that he received and turned them into GEAR funds. So the state legislature has also supported us in recent years with what's called SE Wins funds that actually go into those trades in those areas that are skilled trades, nursing, welding, manufacturing, all of those support services. So we were able to support, and I was able to lobby to make sure that we had those resources. But we're now the only one in the state that if you have a 2.2 GPA and you're pursuing your degree program, that we still offer that Live the Chase, because we take down all those other resources, compile that together, and bring that back to Spartanburg. So I like to say it in an analogy. We went from from a gravitational pull on all the resources from the federal level and the state level lottery to a Jupiter. And now other institutions around the state didn't like that, because Spartanburg and Spartanburg Community College was able to take more for our citizens. But I'm very proud of that and showcasing what we're able to do. Now you may say, well, that was just money that came from the outside. And I'll say, yep, that's right. But we've been able to sustain it because of the efficiencies that my team and I have been able to put in to set up our operations in a way that's fiscally responsible and also strategically valuable, because we've been able to manage our budgets in such a way that we've lessened or reduced core expenses per student FTE by almost $3,100 in those since 2021. That's incredible. And I ask for anyone to go look at another higher education institution in this country and see if that's the same amount, because at that level where we only cost out about a $6,000 tuition, that's a huge amount. And think about the inflation we've seen over the last few years. And so we've been able to do that by managing our budget wisely and setting up those efficiencies and those structures internally. And so we've been able to do that and reinvest that into our citizens, into our students, and I'm very proud of that particular figure. So hopefully we'll be able to sustain it, because the growth is continuing to happen. And I like to specifically showcase two counties, those students and those citizens that are taking advantage. So in 2024, 2025, we had 6,579 residents taking advantage of our services from an academic standpoint. And then we had 662 individuals taking non-credit workforce training. That's everything from our new heavy equipment training, to CDL training, to CNA, to some other areas, and we see that area really growing. I don't know if you've heard of Workforce Pell that's coming from the federal level, but we'll be able to activate that and really grow. And I've gone on record to say to my commission that we could have upwards of 10,000 students just in the workforce side, just because there's so much demand in the retraining, not just in the traditional higher education, but also training those skill sets. But the short-term training is going to continue to pile on. And so during that short period of time, just in the fall of this year, we had another increase of 4.8%. Very proud of that. Dual enrollment continues to increase. That's very valuable to our students and our student learners. All throughout our districts, every one of our districts are participating, and some of the districts continue to grow rapidly because this is in demand by parents and students, because they take those dual enrollment credits and they tie that directly into their pursuit. Several years ago, I thought a lot of those would go off to other institutions, but in fact, about 40% of those students come back to us in some form or fashion throughout their educational career, whether it be transient over the summer, or they come back and finish degrees. And in some cases, those students come back even after they go on to college. The number to the left, the 55.7%, is the growth just in dual enrollment. The 302 number is those students that have already had a bachelor's or higher education, master's, or in some cases, we had 4 students on our campus last year that had doctorates. They're coming back into our college to be educated to go out into the field of their study. And so that's incredible, because when you see on those transcripts, they're in the working world, but they're coming back to Spartanburg Community College to access their job market and the opportunities for their dreams in order to chase those ambitions. And then we had 774 graduates in the class of 2025 at the Spartanburg Stadium. And welcome you to come and visit with us on May 15th of this year, where we'll have more than that at the graduation ceremony here at the Spartanburg Stadium. So excited about that. A couple of recent wins I want to highlight, because I'm very appreciative of the partnership with our roads and your vision to make sure that we have the infrastructure in the roads. We have partnered greatly from the heavy equipment program. Very appreciative to you, as well as Truist, in supporting that initiative. And we've already trained 31 students just in the fall in an 80-hour program, and that's continuing to grow. I just need qualified and ready faculty, so instructors. So if you know of anybody, please send them our way, because the instructors are the hardest part to get to scale it. It's not the equipment, it's not the machinery, and it's not the necessary demand from the students. It's the actual talent that we can get out there to make sure they're well trained. Very proud of, most recently, worked with economic development, Catherine O'Neill and her team, State Department of Commerce, as well as ARC, Appalachian Regional Commission, as well as Piedmont Natural Gas, to secure $1.15 million towards our Spark Center, where we will be building out a new clean room technology. And you might say, well, Dr. Makota, what are you going to do with a clean room? It's vitally important with regards to the types of companies that we're recruiting to this area to have the skill sets and the training in the environment. We have a wonderful company in Sativia located here. I don't know if you've been there or toured that facility, but it's incredible. And we need to make sure we have the skill sets for that next level biotech. In fact, Catherine O'Neill and I were able to recruit a company last year, and we have a company that has a bunch of different patents. They're launching at the Spark Center, and we see that as an opportunity not just for students and engagement, for new age research as well. And not just research that you go and put it in a university and it sits there for 25 years and you don't have anything to show for it. The applied side that those individual students can come in and engage from that standpoint. And then as well, I mentioned from a national scale, most recently in the fall, we were recognized as one of the top 200 community colleges in the United States. And that's pretty incredible. We've never had that honor before. There's only been 2 colleges in the history of South Carolina that had that honor. And so we're one of them. And so very excited about that. We have submitted for the Aspen Prize. There's only one in the nation that wins it. So out of that 200, there's only one in the nation. So root us on and see if we can get it. But that's getting national exposure to all the quality that we're doing at Spartanburg Community College. So I'm very proud of that. As you all know, back in 2007, this body voted to support the expansion at our Tiger River campus for economic development, the internationally renowned Spark Center. And I don't have to tell you that we continue to grow and expand. Over the last year, we had 8 companies that went through that particular center. But over the last 18, 20 years, we've had 165 companies And the return on investment to the state of South Carolina has been almost $57 billion. And so when you think about the magnitude of what we've been able to do in securing that and partnering with One Spartanburg and our economic development partners in Spartanburg County, it's been an incredible game changer for us. And I think it helps us to also lure and engage companies that we wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And so this is not only a model for South Carolina, this is a model for the Southeast and actually for the nation. And so I don't know of any other place that does it quite like we do it, but very proud of integrating that into what we do on a day-to-day basis and only amplifying it. So we have plans to expand and worked with the state legislature to secure money 2 or 3 years ago, and it takes us a long time to apply that in order to get into, but we plan on tying in huge investments in our industrial as well as our capacity for biotech and new programs as well, and tie that into our partnerships. And I put this on the screen because these are some of our partners. Now, some of them are in Spartanburg County, Michelin, BMW, CSL Plasma's down in Union, and then Freightliners in Cherokee County. But I also want to mention Salt Run, which is a new movie studio that launched out of our Spark Center, and we're helping to develop and set them up with regards to their talent as well. And you might say as well, you say, oh, how can you do that with a movie studio? Well, there's lots of things that go into place with digital arts, management, design, skilled trades. There's a tremendous amount in that industry that we supply, and you have to have that baseline. And what we're doing is partnering with the Urban League as well as our partners here in Spartanburg County to make sure that we go into neighborhoods and opportunities to sell that at a higher level and get individuals interested. And so we want to not have any path or any excuses as to why you can't tap into this beautiful economy that we're building here in Spartanburg at Spartanburg County, and Spartanburg Community College can provide you with that pathway to dream it, chase it, and live it. So, but without our partners, we wouldn't be able to do near what we do, and so that's important for us to continue to grow and expand. I wanted to put this particular screen up because I wanted to share as well the investment that we made in our downtown campus, and now that's it's reaping huge benefits. And one of the big benefits I wanted to share with the council tonight is something that I worked on very diligently. Mr. Alverson was there with me a few years ago, where we had a glut. We had a number of positions with regards to emergency management systems that we were down in the county. And at the time, we brought in Spartanburg Regional, and I had 2 different units at my college. We had both continuing education, which is the workforce training, and we had an academic. And everybody was in the room, and we couldn't decide on a way in Spartanburg County to move forward. And we got to work together, right? We got to all come together and pull together so that we win as a team, as Team Spartanburg. And so after everybody was kind of going through, and even my staff were going through and saying, I want it this way, I want it that way. I don't know if Mr. Alverson remembers, but I said, look, I have a 3-year-old son. He's 6 now. But I said, when I call 911, I said, I don't care if he swallows a marble. I said, I want somebody to come to my house and be well trained and take care of my son. And so at the time, I was willing, and my staff didn't like it, and my faculty didn't like it, but I said, I was willing to say, if regional can do it better, I said, go ahead and do it. And they said, no, we want you to do it. So we re-evolved. We set it into one program, worked with the county, developed it, and now we don't have any gaps on that particular thing. And regional's happy with it. The county's very satisfied with it. And we came to bat because it's a public service that we're delivering. We don't generate revenue off that program. Quite in fact, we're only one of 4 programs in the state, 16 colleges. So 12 other colleges don't do that program. And so it's very beneficial that we're able to step up and do that. And we do that right downtown. You can see that simulation there. And if you come downtown, I'll be happy to share it with you. But that's the back end of an emergency vehicle. And so it shakes and it rattles and it does stuff. And those students not only sit there and get applied, but within 8 weeks, they're ready to go. And they're already training on the trucks and do it. So it's a new way of adapting and moving that forward. We also have our new nursing center that's going to be launched. And I hope to invite you all to go to that ceremony, ribbon cutting, and that's one of our nurses, proud nurses over there, of which we're going to plan to quadruple that nursing program in the future. I've got a meeting with Spartanburg Regional tomorrow to talk about that. Speaking of which, we've already remodeled and finished the remodeling the downtown campus. This showcase here is where SE Works used to reside, in that building on the first floor, and we've remodeled it all into a brand new nursing suite, a total budget of $1.8 million. It's ready to go. We just have to set the date for the ribbon cutting and make sure that we have the investors and the folks there to support us, and we'll be proud to have you there to showcase that brilliant focus. I really want to set the stage with regards to healthcare and new age medicine, and also advancement in our downtown campus in a vision for how that ties into nutrition, wellness, way of life. What a wonderful way to have that with regards to the rail trail and the vision of that center to the values that we have in Spartanburg County. And without health and without wellness, you know, what's your prosperity and your work aspects going to be in your life? You want to have a prosperous community, but you want to have healthy people. You want to have folks that can work and be able to grow and expand. Now, we just completed last year and launched a facility master plan, brand new facility master plan. That's also on our website, state-of-the-art master plan. We did a lot of work on that plan to take a look at where we're at and what we're doing from a college-wide standpoint. And I would say in Spartanburg County, over the years, probably over the last 20 years, we've invested in Tiger River, we've invested in the downtown campus, but our Giles campus has not been invested in as much. And so the last building that was built on our campus was in 2006. That was a library. Before that, it was 2002, which is our health sciences building. And so when I think about those dates, it doesn't seem like that long a period of time, but it's been a while. But we have campuses on that, and we have buildings on that campus, 3 of them, in fact, that were built in the 1960s. And not only they're starting to show their age, but we're going to have to retire those buildings or change those buildings in order to advance new age buildings that will have a longer life cycle. You can't just continue to put resources in those buildings in a way that's going to sustain. And in fact, some of them, like our Ledbetter building, which was Lockwood Green, was not ever really meant to be an academic building, was absorbed from a standpoint and updated back in 1968, I think it was. And in fact, the same HVAC system is the same HVAC system from 1968. So we're working with those types of things, but we're going to continue to build, and we've got this strategy in place now with our facilities master plan. And so we've already implemented some of that. We've begun a renovation in our basement, our Dan Terhune building. I know you're familiar with that building, some of you, because hosted meetings there in our commissioner's dining room. Unfortunately, a couple of years ago, we had a water break, and it came through, and we have replaced it and repaired it. And with $4 million, we should be able to open that up this summer and invite you to that ribbon cutting as well. And we have plans for a new academic and administrative building. That's something that we've gone through our legislature and asked for and make sure that we continue to advance. But it's also something that we need to make sure we have local funds to grow those particular funds in a way that we can advance that mission. And so I would love to be able to showcase and say that we have all those resources, but we don't have the bonding capacity. We don't have the ability, as some of our school districts do, to go out and set voting for millage rates and whatnot. And so it becomes very competitive when you see our high schools that have new, nice facilities, and we still have some of those older facilities. So we're going to continue to partner and see what we can do to work on those initiatives. And I'll do everything I can with the state to see what we can do to bring back to Spartanburg. But I'll look to continue to showcase these opportunities so we can partner together. And from an academic standpoint, that's just another drawing and a showcase of what we can build. And that's all the above opportunities. There'll be some replacements we'll have to do. We have gotten some maintenance, repair, and replacement dollars in order to support, but this is something we want to continue to grow and expand on. But we are continuing to drive home the message and opportunities and showcasing what we can do. Look forward to partnering with you and hopefully be able to showcase what we need with regards to our growing industry. We're not only getting recognition, like I said, locally, but nationally. And it's a pride of what we do that showcases everyone's aptitude to be able to dream it, chase it, live it. So, Mr. Chairman, members of council, I'm happy to address any questions that you may have. Happy to come after the ice storm that we had in January and be happy to address anything you may be on your minds.
I like to have Dr. Makoto around because he puts people to work in Spartanburg County, and I appreciate your work in that area. Anybody else have anything to?
I got something. Not with him.
Oh,
okay. Dr. Makoto, I appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate people who want to get to, what I call yes people. People who want to get to yes doesn't mean you always will. But I know when I came, I've come with some interesting projects to you, and that weren't a traditional fit. The idea of our Spark Center has mostly been a manufacturing sort of distribution type launch pad, big companies like Keurig and those, and so sort of the big names. But when the Urban League wanted to try to work in the film space, you guys could have easily been like, hey, That's something we've never seen before, so we don't want to do it. Instead, you were working through it to do something that was really interesting and is moving our community forward. And I know people in District 1 really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
We're going to fill some of these positions.
Yeah, I want to do something.
Can I have your attention before you leave? Can I ask you for your attention before you leave? How many of you that are here today had family members that served in our military? You or your family? Stand up, stand up. Everybody's got families. I served a number of years in the military. I feel like I'm dirt on the ground tonight. But how many of you are in Landrum, Campobello, Inman, or Lyman? Have you called me and me not answered you, not come out? If you call me, I've answered you. I've said I'd go look at things for you. But I'm feeling like tonight, after what you've done, what's been done, that I'm dirt, you know. But y'all have no use for me. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Oh. Well, I served this country, and I've served this state, and I've served this. I want to serve you. If you're in my district and you voted for me, that's who I represent. You're the one, you put me here. And the same thing I would think these others feel. So please, yeah. Please call me and say, I'll come out to your house. I'll come out and look at what you got.
I'll come and visit.
You call me. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Accommodations tax. What do you got?
Is that all? That's what we have there.
Receive information, take desired action on various boards and committees.
Yep.
District 4. The accommodations tax. I nominate Alexandra Goodwin. So?
Second.
Got a motion and a second?
Second. I'll second it.
All in favor, say
All
aye.
those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
All right, we got any more?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move that we appoint Vivian Fowler Means to the Appalachian Council of Governments.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second, and nobody wants to serve. Not teasing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Stephen Craig Mathis to the Board of Assessment Appeals, filling a position for school district.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is any discussion? Mr. Mathis? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Mathis is appointed.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Angela L. Jeter to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Got any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item carries.
No. Mr. Chairman, are y'all doing building codes? Somebody do
Building goes.
somebody doing it? I can do it.
No, it's D. Feitman, but
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Ray Rogers to the Building Code Board of Appeals and Adjustments.
second.
Second.
We got a second.
Any discussion? I got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we appoint Kim Smith Dillard to the Una Community Fire Service Area.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item carries. That do it?
Just go.
All right, so moving on to
We're free to skip presentations.
Animal Services update. Earl Alexander.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Tonight, we're going to, we'll tag team this with our Director of Animal Welfare Services, Chelsea Brooks. I will discuss the construction phase, and she will come up and discuss the staffing achievements to give you updates on those. But as you all are aware, our building completion has been pushed due to unforeseen production issues with our AEON mechanical units and our TriStar kennels. But our team continues to progress with the building to ensure readiness for opening as soon as these items arrive. And I want to really publicly thank Greenville County again for all of their patience that they've had with us throughout this process. One of the things we have started to do was the commission and balancing of our AEON mechanical units that we currently have on site. And so that began on February 2nd. And so looking to complete that here within the next week for those remaining units. The remaining AEON mechanical units have completed production as well as testing and are being prepared to ship tomorrow. And so once those units arrive, the installation, commissioning, and balancing are expected to take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks for those. Our contractor has already started the initial cleaning of the facility, which looks good, as well as the punch list. Our architects and engineers, as well as our project managers, have already started their initial punch list for the building, and that will continue until completion. Our TriStar kennel installation will begin on February the 20th and will take approximately 3 weeks to complete. Our furniture delivery and installation is slated to begin on February the 20th as well. And our final punch list will take place once we commission and balance our AEON mechanical units as well as our TriStar kennels are installed. But we're also looking at our sign installation package. And so pending final review of that, we are tentatively scheduled to begin installation at the end of February, the beginning of March with our signage. And I know last week we had some 70-degree weather temperatures last week, which allowed us to complete our final paving at the site as well as our striping. And so we're thankful for that. And we are also installing our BDA system and working on the final antenna placement for that to be finalized. And our hours for the Pet Resource Center for the public will be Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5, and closed on Sunday. Our public staff hours will be Monday through Saturday, 7:30 a.m. till 30 minutes after closing, and then Sunday will be minimal staff for cleaning and feeding. This aligns with other local public shelters, government shelters, as well as humane societies. I mean, I know Greenville County opens to the public at 12 p.m. and closes at 5. Spartanburg Humane from 12 to 6, and Greenville Humane from 10:30 to 5:30. So our schedules are aligned with that. With that, I will turn it over to Chelsea Brooks.
I'm pleased to talk to you guys about the PRC team. We've been able to build some strong relationships and providing support and cross-training with our staff to local animal welfare groups. Those include Animal Allies, the Spartanburg Humane Society, where we were even able to assist with an urgent foster, Greenville Humane, Greenville County Animal Care, and Lawrence County. All have strong support for this PRC and future collaborations. We've conducted some site visits to Charlotte-Mecklenburg Animal Care and Control, as well as the Magnolia Fawn Rescue, and we have planned site visits to Oconee Humane Society, Asheville Humane Society, and the Foothills Humane Society. That's just to expand on our expertise of the shelter setting and also work on partnerships with them as well. We attended a community cat forum to strategize and collaborate about the community cat population and also TNR best practices. So we will be moving forward with working with the team in the county as well on community cat projects. Our foster rescue and ACO teams were able to remove and place over 100 dogs in a large-scale seizure. We worked with 5 different rescue teams that we've partnered with, as well as a few fosters to get those dogs out of that situation. Our community programs continue to support about 181 households through our pet pantry each month, as well as 222 sterilizations through our through our partnership with Animal Allies each month. I've also initiated a partnership with the ASPCA through a mutual aid agreement, and we will be in future collaboration with staff training and emergency response.
And also, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add that Chelsea and her team have worked to strengthen our relationships with Spartanburg Humane, and our staff are visiting there weekly to train with them and to assist them throughout the process.
Very good.
I'll be happy to answer any questions that you all may have.
Well, I was just going to take 2 seconds to say that I can tell Chelsea's a little nervous speaking in front of you guys, but she is a bulldog. If you haven't had a chance to sit down and talk with her yet, I highly recommend that you do. I think our Pet Resource Center is going to be in great hands, so I just wanted to say that out loud in front of everybody. I think also a thing I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is that I recently was at a Build for a Better Future Foundation's event, where they are here recently collaborating with our Rosen Burgess project team. They're going to have a contest where area contractors are going to sponsor a dog house build competition to encourage the students in the trades to build. And so we're going to make it a competition, and they are awarded scholarships for their efforts. And so I'm really excited. We're going to auction off those dog houses to benefit the Pet Resource Center. I think this just really highlights Spartanburg County's ability to work together and come together for a greater cause. So thank you, Chelsea. Thank you to the Build for a Better Future Foundation too. So.
Okay. We'll move on into, that said, we'll move on into our committee work. First one is Economic Recruitment and Development. Manning Lynch, Jessica Coker, Jack Mabry. First item is to receive information, take desired action in reference to an ordinance to amend the agreement for the development of a joint county industrial park by and between Spartanburg County and Cherokee County, South Carolina, so as to include additional property in Spartanburg County as part of the joint county industrial park and other matters related thereto.
Move we render first reading of the ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion in 2 seconds. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, hold on just a second. I just want to make sure that I'm on.
It's a speculative.
Speculative. Okay.
Are we good?
We're still in committee, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure, it's still in committee anyway, I'm sorry.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? For the whole council? Any discussion down there?
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure, this is number 1 here?
So I've made some notes on there. This effectively is an item where y'all have already given approvals to these, to their economic development incentives, if they're applicable. This is simply folded them into the multi-county industrial park. It's sort of the typical follow-up work you do quarterly to button everything up.
Okay, and I know the committee knows it very well, but when you just say this is to button it up, and will you explain what a joint industrial park is for the education of other people?
Sure. So a multi-county industrial park effectively represents a list of parcels. And by adding a particular project to that list of parcels, effectively what that does is it allows county council to offer special source revenue credits or a non-refundable tax credit for a company based upon the merits of the product that you all may see. It also then sends the tax receipts or the fees received in lieu of taxes through a funding mechanism that splits it amongst the 7 school districts, regardless of whether or not the project is located within their particular school district, so that all school districts benefit to some extent from each one of our economic development projects. So those effectively are the mechanics. And this particular item takes projects where you've already given them tax incentives and puts them into the mechanism so that revenue can then be split out amongst the schools.
Okay. And when we say, I used to get confused about this, when we say a joint county industrial park, do we mean like a physical location?
So the answer is it depends. So it does not have to be a park where you would have an entrance sign and there would only be these sort of parcels there. Most of the parks that you all use as a mechanism include parcels that are non-adjacent. They're spread throughout the county. There is one notable exception where we have a joint industrial park off of Highway 110 in Councilman Abbott's district, where the park literally straddles the Cherokee and Spartanburg County line, where 50% of the parcels roughly are in Spartanburg County, 50% roughly are in Cherokee County, and that contains a rule set of its own on how revenues are split because it truly is across two jurisdictions.
So when we pick another county in these joint industrial parks, we can pick any county in the state, is that correct?
It has to be adjacent. That used to be the case, but the statutes have since changed, and so traditionally y'all choose Cherokee or Union on a rare occasion, depending upon the project, perhaps a Lawrence County.
Okay, but as you just said, those parcels don't have to be actually together. Except for one place you might not go to, you wouldn't be able to go to a particular place when we talk about a park.
Yeah, I mean, these companies have places, but this is a list of parcels effectively, and in most cases, they are not adjacent. They're spread, some may be in Councilman Walker's district, some may be in yours, some may be in Councilman Abbott's district.
Before we did it this way, did all the revenue for, say, the school system come from the place where maybe a project actually physically was?
Yeah, that's right. So if you had a project that located in School District 5, District 5 would be the sole educational recipient of the benefits. And so some years ago, at the request of schools and with the leadership of county council and others within the community, everyone saw a need to share the benefits of those projects across the school districts. And I think you could probably talk to any superintendent, you could talk to any school board member, and I feel certain that they have all seen sizable revenue increases that have directly helped them to pay for staff and to make sure facilities are suitable for children learning, et cetera.
So like in the past, say BMW came to one place, that school district would get all of that benefit.
That is correct, yes.
And why we do this is because now through this mechanism, we can spread that through the entire county.
That is correct.
Economic development is widely spread.
That is correct.
All right. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
No, that's great. Good. Real good, Mo. Real good. Okay, so we got a motion and a second. We have any discussion? All in favor of rendering first reading of this ordinance, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item carries for full council.
No, we did full council.
That was full council,
That was
okay.
full council.
All right.
B.
Next item is to receive information, take desired action in reference to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of an amended and restated fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and Project Pinto.
Move we render first reading to the ordinance.
A second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item carries for full council. Is there any further discussion? No.
Well,
We have a representative from the company here. If you'd all like to hear from him, there's also details on the slide.
okay.
Good evening, Chairman Lynch. Members of the County Council. I'm referred to common here is where I come from. My name is C.J. Madonna. I'm speaking on behalf of Project Pinto and its request for the council's consideration of a fee in lieu of taxes agreement. Project Pinto, it is not a data center. Please do not do that. This project encompasses the acquisition of the portion of the 138-acre Tiger Ridge Industrial Park, which is on Victor Hill Road and at the corner of Danesville. Our portion is 71 acres. It is improved right now with a 498 or 89,000 square foot building, which is vacant. We propose this phase one to improve and add a 400,000 square foot manufacturing facility. It will manufacture and distribute our foam board product for the ceramic tile installation systems, which will be manufactured and then distributed here. This project will create manufacturing jobs. we've agreed to have a minimum creation of 125 full-time jobs, which will comply with the average annual wage and will meet or exceed your county average wage as required by South Carolina law. Got to remember where I am. The project will have also a minimum investment of $336 million in real and personal property over an 8-year investment period. The pilot agreement, I call it a pilot, I apologize, it's a FILO agreement, includes provisions based upon performance. Therefore, there will be a provision for clawback of the incentives and upon an early termination in the event the company fails to meet the minimum investment or the job creation requirements. I thank you for the opportunity to appear before and clarify that I'm not a data center. And I have to speak first and then give you an opportunity to approach the board. But if you need anything, I'll answer any other questions.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm just trying to make sure, is this item A from the public hearing?
Yes, it is.
Okay, very
It's
good.
item A from your public hearings.
Okay, very good. So, I mean, you heard, I mean, if I may have some latitude. Sure. So, you heard the public comment, and we don't engage, we don't have the opportunity to engage, but you're the man, so you heard public comment, and I'm sure you at least have some of the highlights or maybe took some notes. Any of those particular criticisms would you like to address?
Boy, there was a lot.
Well, please,
I'm not a data center
no, brother, excuse me, brother.
manufacturing
Address
job.
us,
Okay.
address us.
I'm trying to answer your question because they're the questions that I didn't take notes for the Sparrow project or whatever it is, except that I'm not that project. I'm here to bring manufacturing jobs. We have several facilities throughout the United States, nationwide. We lead our brand. I'm not going to say anything more about our company, but we are well received where we are. And I'm asking for the fee in lieu of agreement. I call it a pilot, but I apologize.
And why did you decide to come here?
Well, the easiest one is I have a home in Simpsonville. My son went to Clemson. We followed the kid went to Dallas, and now we're here. But my daughter works for Flora, and I'm here. I was kind of instrumental in bringing the company here. I favored this location. And we hope to be here. If you say no, we'll go someplace else. Very simple.
What's the role, and at any point you can tell me you don't want to answer any of these questions, and that's fine. But what's the role of the FILO in bringing your particular investment here?
Good question. Very simple. I'm looking at 2 other states. Okay, we want to come here, but we want to be treated the same way, in a similar way. Your special source money is not as good as someplace else, but for the other factors that we have, this is our #1 choice that we looked at over 2 years looking at. So it's there.
And if I'm touching anywhere I shouldn't be, you stop me. But are they similarly situated states? Are we talking, are they states that are like us, or are they like, are we competing against California or something?
You're competing against other states. I don't, Jim? No. Okay, North Carolina and another state, okay? But it's not California. We're not there yet.
Right. So it's another southern, we need this FILO to compete with another southern state.
Yes,
Similarly
unequivocally,
situated,
yes.
led by Republicans.
As well as New York, too. Okay, we're looking at New York, we're looking at, that's not a southern state. We're looking also at North Carolina. I've been there and everything here. My preference, I already told you why my preference is.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
This is in my district. This is, matter of fact, it's less than a mile from my home. It's a beautiful complex they built. The buildings look great. Welcome to the Spartanburg area. We welcome the jobs. The people of my neighborhood will greatly appreciate it. Some of these are longtime mill workers that will appreciate a good job closer to the home than they had before. They've done a good job on construction in these areas. And like I said, some beautiful buildings that's been built so far, and we welcome you to my community.
Thank you. And I want to say one thing. I'm very positive about meeting your minimum criteria, both in investment and in jobs. And knowing our company, which I've been with for 40 years, I'm pretty sure I'm very comfortable that we'll exceed them. And because none of those jobs relate to our secondary operations or the existing building. It's just for the manufacturing job. And thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Still going to vote full council.
All right, for full council, the committee moves, and the committee recommends, and I so move, that we pass this resolution.
It already passed out of committee.
Okay.
Full count.
Full council.
Full council.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
It's a banner day.
Banner Day. It's a day that's never going to end, I'm afraid. All right, where are we? C. Next item is to receive information, take desired action in reference to an ordinance to amend the agreement for development of a joint county industrial park, business park, by and between Spartanburg County and Union County, South Carolina, so as to include additional property in Union County as part of the joint industrial park and other matters related thereto. This is affiliated with Project Spring.
I move we render first reading to the ordinance.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. All right.
Full
Next.
council. Full council.
Oh, full council. Okay. For full council, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Chairman, can we just say whatever we can, or we can't? Anything? Can we just give them just say what it is, like one sentence what it is?
This is a Union County project, and we are serving as the partner county. So in order for Union County to transact this, we effectively have to be part of the transaction.
That's it.
That's it.
Item D.
D. Receive information, take desired action in reference to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a special source credit agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and Carolina Foothills Federal Credit Union with respect to certain economic development property in the county, whereby such property will receive certain special source credits and other matters related thereto.
Move we render first reading to the ordinance.
In a second.
Got a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries. For full council, is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'll only tell you that I love this project. I know Carolina Foothills. I did get a chance to talk with their attorney who is here, Brother Steve. Your Brother Steve's in the back.
These are unique people.
Yeah, Carolina Foothills, I mean, they're an incredible organization, and I understand they're bringing, well, they're doing some very large things in our community. I always get scared about what I can talk about or not talk about, but they service underserved communities, but they do it in a way that I think is extremely powerful because it's through capital. It's through the power of entrepreneurship and wealth building. And I think that's the only long-term way to end the issue of poverty. And so they're out there on the front lines of like lending to people who just are cut out of the system and just need an opportunity to be capitalists. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that capitalism solves poverty. I don't believe it is the source of poverty. And so I really appreciate that we're helping this expansion.
Is this a new build or what?
Well, I think this was, I would let Steve speak if wanted to, but they're doing some very big things. I'm just always scared to talk about economic development in that way. But maybe whatever, Steve will be able to know what he can say in that.
Chairman, members of council, Steve Quare and Johnson Smith Law Firm. I'm pleased to be here today with Scott Weaver and Terry Hendricks from Carolina Foothills Federal Credit Union. A lot of you are familiar with what they do, and Councilman Abusaf said it well. They are a nonprofit bank, which sounds like an oxymoron to even say, but they serve the underserved. They fill the niches that often don't get filled by making loans and low-interest loans to small businesses, to home buyers, and they fill a niche that is really underserved by the financial world, frankly. They're doing two things. They're going to have a corporate headquarters over on John B. White. They bought an existing, it was a Vital Federal Credit Union or something building on John B. White. They bought that building. They're going to make that their corporate headquarters. They'll be the first corporately headquartered federal credit union in Spartanburg, and certainly CDFI, which stands for Community Development Financial Institution. So they're going to create and bring new jobs. About more than half will come from Greenville to Spartanburg, with an average salary of $97,000. About 20 new jobs in the corporate headquarters. Then on the north side, on South Church Street, they're building a new retail branch. So it'll put a really great looking building in a new retail presence for that community, giving them access to financial services. Total investment, $6 million. Special source revenue credit agreement will only apply to the new construction that'll take place on South Church Street, and that's about $3 million of that. So they're looking for some help with the property tax bill on that new build, not where they're putting the corporate headquarters. So that's what's before you today is first reading on the special source revenue credit agreement to support the good work that the good people at Carolina Foothills Federal Credit Union are doing in our community.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for Steve before he sits down? Yeah. All right. How about
Full council.
full council? All in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries. That will get us to Public Health and Human Services, Bob Walker. You want me to skip you? You want me to go by you?
I don't know anything. What's he got? You go ahead.
Receive information, take desired action in reference to a request to apply for South Carolina opioid recovery funds.
Yeah, there she is.
And yeah, here she comes.
If you could just close for me. Thank you. Good evening, council members. I am so delighted to be speaking with you again about our progress on the South Carolina Opiate Recovery Fund. Most of you know that this is a continuing project, and I think I've spoken with most of you, and welcome to my new council member. I want to highlight some of our successes that we've had with this program, which is now 16 months in. The goal of this presentation is to request approval for our next SCORF submission. That's the South Carolina Opiate Recovery Fund. I want to very briefly review some basic rationale of that and remind you that this is guaranteed money that's coming into the county to benefit those affected by the nationwide opiate crisis. This is the second largest medical settlement in the country, and that's where this funding is coming to our county from. We are continuing to build on existing programs. I want to highlight some of our challenges, but mostly our successes, and just talk to you about the components of this submission. As a reminder, there are approved uses for this fund. I am very grateful that South Carolina established these guidelines to be very clear about how this funding can be spent. There are some other states that are using it for a variety of things that are completely unrelated to opiate use disorders, so I'm very happy that we're using the money in this way. When we looked at these 9 approved strategies, the one thing that we really weren't doing anything with in Spartanburg County was treating our incarcerated population. And so the advisory group decided that that would be a good place to start. Why did we want to start in the detention center? Well, we've talked about this before. We know that about 2/3 of our incarcerated population may suffer from substance use disorder. 90% of those folks return directly to our community. And so when we treat folks in the detention center, we're having direct impact on the community. One of the reasons that I was so interested in beginning in the detention center, next slide, was because the Spartanburg County Detention Facility is now the largest addiction medicine provider by volume. That's what we're doing. And it's critical that our community partners help us take care of these patients. I have some information about our first year. This is data that was gathered at the 12-year mark. Those numbers are now higher, and this was data that I put together for our January meeting. So we are now closer to about 600 individuals that we have served. We are treating people in the detention center. We are screening broadly, and the medical program that is in place there is solid and running well. Next slide. So one of the biggest challenges that we talk about is the building the airplane while we're flying it scenario. This was a program that we started from nothing, and it took us a while to figure out how to best implement the practices, what needed to be put in place. But I am very, very comfortable now about the way the program is running within the detention center. One of our biggest challenges, and I think this is often the case in service to people, is finding the right staff and keeping the right staff and getting the right folks in place. So some of our challenges have been around getting the nursing staff, the full complement of the nursing staff, getting the new nurse practitioner in place. There's a picture there of our reentry specialists. But we are getting there. And I want to point out that we have added, this funding has added 9 staff people to our medical department at the detention center. And that has been really important to the quality of care, not just for the folks in this program, but generally. What are our successes? As I mentioned, we do have a really good functioning medical program now. People understand the protocols, the nurses understand what they're doing. We have things in place. We do have some folks that return to us, unfortunately. What I have been really gratified to see is that about half of the folks that have returned to us are still maintained on their medication. So, you know, this isn't just something they're getting when they're in-house. They don't, you know, take the treatment. So that's something that I want to explore more as we have more time to look at some of our outcomes. We have been recognized both in the city and by the state. We presented at the Governor's Summit on Addiction, our program. And we have a burgeoning partner with Regenesis, a partnership that we're working on really helping those folks connect to treatment when they leave. One of the things I'd really like to highlight is our Recovery Care Navigator program. This is what I was looking for when I said we needed some more of these outside resources. So I'd like to highlight our Recovery Care Navigators and let you know that these folks are county employees. We now have 3 of them, including a lead care navigator who is here with us and who I would like to thank for these slides. We are on the next slide. The goal of these folks is to connect people with care and to bring down the barriers. And these are open to everyone in the community, not just folks leaving the detention center. We have a Spartanburg County recovery movement now. which seems to be unique to the state. We don't believe anyone else is doing this kind of work on the county level. We have a website that's launching very, very soon that highlights the programs that are available and connects folks to these care navigators. The next slide shows some of the credentials that these folks have. These are well-trained people. They are peer navigators, they're trauma-informed, they're forensic trained, they're community health workers. So we've got a good team. And these are some of the highlights of the services that they provide connecting people to care. This developed because of the investment that we put into the detention center, but what you can see is this is serving our whole community. This submission really is just continuing a lot of the work that's already been begun. We're looking for some additional funding to research, some money for the media campaign. We want to increase access to our long-acting injectable medication, which has been so important both in the detention center and out to move people to a different phase of recovery. We'll have ongoing funding to the detention facility and a new SCORE financial administrator as the complexity of these submissions and the different places that the funding is going continues to grow, and we just need some help at the county level. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
I would just say I'm very proud of this program.
Thank
what
you.
we've been able to do, what you guys have been able to do. First, I'm proud because this was a work of a nationwide lawsuit. There's a group of attorneys who came together and said what's going on with opioids around the country, this was wrong, that there were people profiting off of other people's pain, and they sued and won a huge judgment that's now, that's funneled all the way from the national level here. And then I'm very proud of how we're deploying it as the sort of wraparound service that we talked about earlier. The only way we're going to be able to solve any of our detention facility issues or crime issues is that we have this more sophisticated wraparound attack of it. It is not just more officers, more cells, though that is certainly one part of it. So thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, do you have, I just out of curiosity, do you have any success stories? I know you've got probably some things in the back of your mind that you see these people when they come through struggling.
We have,
Don't name your name.
we have lots of success stories, and that's part of what our media campaign is going to be highlighting, which will actually be on the county website. Some of those folks we're going to have some video clips and just some testimony there. I can name, not name, think of a dozen folks, that have really benefited from treatment. A mother that went home to her twins that remains in treatment. We have lots and lots of folks that have been very successful. And even, the ones that we know about that come back, the change in their attitude about trying to do better the next time. So I am still so honored to be working on this program. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I believe we'll need a motion to approve.
Approve the app.
We would like you to approve the application if you're so inclined.
Yeah. For the committee, do what?
For the committee.
For the committee, I'm looking for a motion to approve the application for the opioid funds.
Be there Councilman Walker, Councilman Abbasat.
I move.
Okay, second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? For full council, same question. All in favor of the application, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Free money.
All right, and that would move us to
That's
Personnel and Finance, Jessica Coker.
So that's me and our committee, Honorable Bob Walker, Honorable Jack Mabry. Up first, Ms. Brooks is going to give us some more information about our Pet Resource Center. First up is, she's already going to try to save us money with some no-match grants.
Thank you, Councilmember Coker. I am seeking approval to submit applications for several no-match grants. These require no financial contribution or county funds required. These grants will help with public safety and the community services that we will be providing. So a couple of them are the AEDs. We do need AEDs for our facility. We'd like to get them on a discount, if you will. Broad River Electric Co-op, Walmart Spark Good, Maddie's Fund, Shelter Animals Count, Petco Love, which that grant cycle actually starts in February, March, but it is also an ongoing quarterly thing as well. And the Bissell Pet Foundation are just to name a few of the potential grants we'd like to start applying for. We'd also like to ask for, upon approval, all submissions will proceed with consent from county administration.
Thank you. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the request.
Make a motion we approve the request.
And a second? Bob? Yes.
Second. Yeah.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends, and I so move, we approve the request for the no-match grants.
And for full council, is any further discussion? All in favor of saying, of applying for the no-match grant, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That item carries.
Thank you. Up next, we got a reclassification of a position.
Yep, me again. After identifying a gap and a need in the centralized supervisory position to optimize support, collaborate and do a better workflow among critical departments for the PRC, which are community support and pet support resource-based. Respectfully requesting to reclassify 2 adoption counselor positions into a pet support supervisor position. In this position, this pet support supervisor will oversee our safety net and foster rescue programs, which are the core structure of our PRC program and modeling. It's also part of our main mission, which is to keep pets with their people. They will also coordinate resources and cross-department collaborations, that is between our safety net team and also our foster rescue teams as well. They're going to provide leadership and guidance to those teams that are already established. They're going to address pet relinquishment causes and help us provide solutions to the community, which is exactly what we are trying to establish here at the PRC, to prevent owner surrender by delivering early intervention and provide pet resources through our current programs, as well as expanding on that. So with that said, the savings operationally will save $36,679 a year. This fiscal year alone will be savings of $12,227. And the adoption counseling program, I've already streamlined that so that those 2 existing positions that are open for reclassification will be null and void. We no longer need them.
Perfect. So being more efficient and saving us money. See, I told you I'm going to like this girl. I entertain a motion to approve the request from committee.
Make a motion we approve the request.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends, and I so move, we approve the request.
For full council, is there any discussion? Any questions?
Just one comment. Ms. Brooks is someone who has been somewhat critical of the Pet Resource Center, the number of staffers and the salary. I would like to say I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That item carries. Next item is to...
Thank you.
No, I got it. Next item up, we got Spartanburg Sanitary Sewer District. Cole's going to give some more information on this.
Yep, thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee, members of council. So if you all recall, back in March of 2021, the county was the recipient of $62.1 million in American Rescue Plan Act funds. These were basically federal grant dollars on the heels of COVID-19. You all acted in the fall of 2022 to allocate the majority of those funds. Of those allocations, you allocated $20.1 million to the Spartanburg Sanitary Sewer District to extend gravity sewer up Meadows Creek. So effectively, this is a tributary that runs up, more or less paralleling I-26, and this particular project area impacted that area that runs up by 292 in the Inman community area. And so the good news is that they have been working diligently at y'all's direction to execute that project. They are now $3.5 million under budget. We are legally required to spend those dollars by December 31 of 2026, or they expire. And so we have to have a use for that $3.5 million, or else we have to give it back. And so their request is simply to add additional linear footage to the project, 6,300 feet, to keep going up Meadows Creek. And so it's just a request for expansion of the scope itself, no additional monetary requests.
Awesome. Any comments, questions from committee? So I entertain a motion to approve the request.
Make a motion to approve the request.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends, and I so move we approve the request.
Full council, is any discussion? This is a good project. This is the right thing to be doing.
I just want to know, what is the relationship between SSSD and Spartanburg Water?
SSSD is the Spartanburg Sanitary Sewer District.
Okay.
And SWS is Spartanburg Water System.
Okay. And what's the
You don't really
relation?
want to mix those two. You want to keep your water over here in this file, and you want to keep your sewer over here in this.
So is the Spartanburg Sanitary Sewer District, what, does the mayor sit on that one?
He does.
Okay, so I see them take pictures together at times. What does that mean?
Take pictures together.
I literally have seen them take pictures with the Water Commission and the sewer people. So do they have any joint function is what I'm asking?
They have a history of just very dynamic people that they've elected to those positions.
Mr. Chairman, my lord. So is it no? They just hang out? They take a picture together?
They just did it to have you ask the question.
I'm sure you can find pictures of me and water commissioners standing side by side.
It's an official, guys, I am being serious. It's official picture. So there's no joint functions there is what you're saying?
Joint in terms of the fact that they're both essential utilities that generally go in the same type places. And
It's a separate board, it's not the same board.
two boards.
Two boards, no crossover connection?
Excuse me, I'm wrong. The water commissioners are just from the city, and the sewer commissioners are just from the county, I think.
Okay, Brother Cole,
y'all
I
got me
just want to make
surrounded
sure, I
with
may
that.
be barking up the wrong tree, I just want to make sure. So there is no joint function, because obviously there was a recent issue at the Water Commission, and I just want to, I'm happy to approve this or whatever, but I'm not happy to approve it if there's some that somehow these funds also are going under the purview of the Water Commission.
Totally segregated money.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'll also add that because of as you can imagine, federal grants require quite a bit of paperwork. And so these are done on a reimbursement basis. And so they have to substantiate to us and to our grants administrator within the finance office, which ultimately gets audited by our auditors, that they have been used for the prescribed purposes, down to the invoices. We have to in turn report all that to the federal government. So there's a fair number of checks that ensure that these funds are spent for their prescribed purposes. And if not, we'll have to pay it back to the federal government.
That would have been quicker if Manny wasn't making fun of it. Thank you.
Okay, where are we?
Full committee vote.
For full committee, we need approval of the request to send this extra money up to the river at Meadows Creek.
No, don't need a motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right,
Okay.
we got it.
Next item, great segue into our actual audit. Andrew Coleman's here from Green Finney Colley. Okay, Andrew, I love your presentations, I really do. But nobody else does. And
I get that a lot.
you and I, we're kindred spirits, and Lisa, right? Great work, okay? But it's a long night, so we're gonna try to keep it quick, okay?
Absolutely.
And you and I can hash this out later and nerd out later, but can we be fast?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm here to go over the results of the 2025 audit. So real quickly, just remind everyone what an audit is. Remember, in this audit, there's only a few items that are mine. That's the opinion. It states what the county's responsible for and what I'm responsible for. First thing you're responsible for is to have good internal controls. The second thing you're responsible for is the financial statements. Your staff compiles and puts this entire statement together. So what am I responsible for? We come in and we give you reasonable assurance that your financial statements are materially correct. And again, we say reasonable assurance because we did not go through and look at every transaction that took place during the year. We looked at your material transactions and then samples of others. Also, the opinion does not address the financial condition. It merely states that the numbers that are in your audit are materially correct. And the good news is we did issue an unmodified opinion. I know unmodified can sound strange, but that is the best opinion that you can receive. All right, so getting into the results, looking at your general fund, you can see you had a total fund balance of $57.6 million. See, it was a slight decrease of about $4.8 million from the prior year. You can see you got some assignments to your fund balance, about $22.2 million for ongoing capital projects. So when we're looking at fund balance, the buzzword, what most people look at is your unassigned fund balance. And when you look at your unassigned fund balance, it's $34.1 million. Remember, your unassigned fund balance is what's left over and is completely at your discretion. So when you're looking at your unassigned fund balance, you can see it's about 27% of your 26 budgeted expenditures and 30% of your 25 expenditures. The GFOA, which is the Government Finance Officers Association, they recommend a minimum of about 16.7% or 2 months worth. Additionally, out here, you all have a separate fund balance policy. Your fund balance policy is a little different because it's based off of revenues. Most everybody looks at expenditures, but your policy is off of revenue. So when we compare what that ending balance is, you can see at the bottom there, you're at 20.5%, which is right in where your fund balance policy is. A lot of times we get asked, why do I want to have an unassigned fund balance? And really for you all, it's this first bullet point that's up here. Cash flow through the second half of the fiscal year. Remember, this is just what your fund balance was as of June 30th. If you'd come in and ask finance what that fund balance was at the end of August or September, that number would be different because the bulk of your revenues comes in through property taxes, which is generally received in December and January. So that's why you want to maintain an adequate fund balance. Looking at your revenues, you can see you had about $166.3 million in your general fund. It's about a 3% increase from the prior year. When you compare that to budget, you're about 5.1% greater than what you budgeted. When you look at expenditures, you had about $115.3 million, about a 4.7% increase from the prior year. And then when you compare that to budget, you're about 11.5% under budget. So in addition to your general fund, you guys have various different funds. We're just going to hit a couple of them here. Your solid waste management fund, you can see it ended at about $11.3 million. Your stimulus funds, which we just talked about in the items you talked about earlier, had a decrease, which is to be expected because as Cole mentioned earlier, there's a deadline to get all those spent. And we want to make sure that you guys do get to spend all those and don't have to send any of those funds back. And additionally, we always like to see when you're using those stimulus funds on infrastructure. Because again, those are one-time items, they're non-recurring expenditures. Looking at your capital improvement fund, you can see it had a fund balance of about $102 million. Then your capital penny sales tax fund, it had a fund balance of $229.7 million. Looking at your long-term debt, you see you had outstanding debt of $132.1 million. The biggest portion of that, about $65.6 million, is your general obligation bonds. And when you look forward to what your total outstanding debt payments are going to be in fiscal year 26, it's going to be about $15.4 million. And when you do look at what your capacity is, you have available general obligation debt capacity of $91 million. Looking at your capital assets, you can see it had about $797 million at the end of the year. Had a slight increase from the prior year, mainly due, you had about $72 million in additions. The bulk of those in CIP additions for various projects going on throughout the county. Then you also had about $18.4 million in infrastructure improvements this past year. So in addition to your regular debt, just as a reminder, because you guys participate in the state pension and retirement and insurance, you guys have another liability on your books. It's called a post-employment benefit obligation. Essentially, this is benefit payments you have obligated yourself to pay in the future. So when you look at those, that obligation was $101.2 million at the end of the fiscal year. So looking at compliance. So in addition to our regular audit, we also have to do what's called a single audit. So anytime you receive more than $750,000 in federal awards, we have to do an additional compliance audit. So the programs that we looked at this year was the FEMA program, the Workforce Initiative Opportunity Act program, and the ARPA program, which included the SCIP funding for this past year. And as we were doing that work, we did have one item we had to note in the Workforce Innovation Program. And as we were going through and looking at your expenditures, there was some funds spent for a consultant that did not have a current contract. The good news is they were for allowable expenditures, they were for appropriate expenditures, and they appeared reasonable at a proper rate. They just didn't have a current contract on file. So the department is going to work on getting all that updated. One other thing to note, looking at those three programs, we audited about 90% of your federal funds this past year. I typically don't get over 50%, so we asked a lot of your finance staff and other departments this year as we were going through and looking at those items. Additionally, we have a separate required management letter with no additional comments in there to note. And again, we had an unmodified opinion. Good financial condition. I do want to say your staff was great to work with. I know it's no fun to have an audit done, but we do appreciate them getting all of the documents that we requested timely, and we were able to get everything done in a timely basis.
Awesome, thank you so much. Is there any comments from the committee and or full council? There's no action other than I would like to say a couple things, but I'll let everybody go say first. No? Okay. I'll just say thank you. It is quite impressive that we got this in February. So has it ever been this early?
It has. It's been a little bit of time since we've had all these grants program added. And I'll note that this was due in January. It was finished in December.
I thought so. I thought you had sent me something in December.
Oh, yeah. We were done in December and had everything in.
Amazing work. So thank you so much for your diligence, and thank you, Lisa, and your team. As always, great work. Thanks. Next up, we got item E, receive information and take desired action in reference to the master lease agreement. And Brad Love is here if anybody has any questions specifically about master lease. No? Brad? Okay. You have a question? Okay, so then I'll entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, not you.
Oh, excuse me.
Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends and I so move we adopt the resolution.
Can I use my eye now?
You can.
Okay. Full council, is there anybody have any questions? All in favor of adopting the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
I use my eye up.
That's good. Okay. Motion carries. Go to IMF. Next item F, receive information, take desired action in reference to a request from the magistrate court. Cole's going to give us some information.
Yeah, just real briefly, long story short, the magistrate court is asking to take two positions, reclassify one downward, reclassify one upward for operational reasons. Net result is $19,000 in savings annualized, about $15,000 for this year. And I can give you more details if you'd like it, but saves us money, better for them operationally.
Perfect. Entertain a motion to approve the request.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends, and I so move we consider or approve the request.
Does full council have any questions?
All that to say is I think Chief Magistrate Wood was showing me some numbers. I think he said like there are 1 million additional revenue over last year.
Wow.
Is that correct? Is that your understanding?
I'd have to confirm, but that sounds consistent with what he had told me before.
So,
Now, the county does not keep all that. A lion's share goes to the state, so don't start counting yet.
a lot of work out of the magistrate court.
And then I'm done.
Full
council.
Oh,
Have I got something dangling?
Full council vote. Sorry.
For full council, anybody have any questions? All in favor of approving the request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. All right, now,
Is there a G?
No, that's just additional information in your packet.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Livability Committee is myself, Councilman Abersaft, and Councilman DeShields. First item of business is to call upon John Woodsby, and he's going to give us a report and a request concerning the Raised Grant Trail.
Good evening. Happy to talk with you all this evening about a very important quality of life project. As you're aware, we were awarded $23.8 million from a federal raised grant from the U.S. Department of Transportation for the design and construction of a key section of the Dan Trail system along the Fair Forest Creek corridor. We've done a lot of work on that project, and we're so close to being able to put that out for bid. But before U.S. DOT will obligate construction funds, we need to complete a couple of additional engineering items, utility relocations, and a construction agreement with the CSX Railroad. So we are requesting tonight an allocation of $717,161 from the Trails Bank to complete these items so that we can get this project out for bid. And just a reminder to everyone in the room, the Trails Bank is an account held within the Parks and Recreation budget. Money is put there every year for the sole purpose of design and construction of trail projects. And so in this particular case, we feel that leveraging our $700,000 to get the federal government's $23.8 million is a good thing.
Okay. Any questions from the committee?
I move that we approve the request.
Second.
Okay. Motion is second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Recommend to the full council. Any questions regarding this item?
full council, any questions? All in favor of approving the request, say aye.
Aye. Okay. John, and for the sake of time, can we skip number
Absolutely.
B? Okay.
Maybe just real quickly, I'll say we were going to show a video, a wrap-up of 2025 and all the great quality of life work that we've done over the course of the year in our team. That video is available on all of our social media outlets, so please go there, view it, like it, share it. We appreciate the support.
Okay. Then item C, Clifton Park, you want to just touch on that, or?
I can give you a couple. Excuse me, I can give you a couple backgrounds items. So Councilman Abbott, you asked for an opportunity to discuss the park itself. So this is Clifton Park. It's located over on the eastern side of Spartanburg County on the Pacolet River. Specifically, the county acquired the property in late 2013. It's about 39.3 acres. It is on both sides of the river. We still have the dam, building foundations, and some infrastructure that remains. We've also got some sort of modest parks improvements to make it useful for the public. We previously had an agreement with the private developer to come in and do some multifamily and mixed use. That agreement has since expired, and County Council previously allocated to accompany that agreement $750,000 for road improvements, which remains unused. And so effectively the status of the project is that the park elements remain in place. They remain open to the public. We care for it as we always have. And then the unused elements of the property effectively remains dormant at this point in time.
Right, thank you. I requested this item be placed on just as discussion. We've got a vacant piece of property that I would like to possibly get back into action. If there are any developers or anybody that would like to go back in and take a look at it from what we had site plans in 2023, I believe. So again, not asking for any any action, just making sure that the county's informed
Yep,
of
and
this
that
item.
property is currently available for public river access. There is a playground and a picnic shelter and a parking lot there. But we would definitely be in support of your idea to try to invigorate that property.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. Cope, is any of this here, does it apply to District 1, the park that we're doing a new school up there?
No, sir, this is not a District
I
1.
didn't say.
Correct.
Well, what about the Froelich property? Is there anything that?
This is unaffiliated.
All right, that's okay. I just want to make sure, because I don't know if he's dealing with it. We've got those parks coming up in Lavender.
This is the old Clifton Mill and Clifton Beach. I'm the only person in Spartanburg County that has beachfront property in his district.
This is the same developer that had the Pepsi Cola?
It is the same developer who was doing the Pepsi Cola site. It is not the same site.
Okay, if not, oh,
That's a question. On the $750,000 that we've got for road improvements, can we use any of that?
Yeah, so as it
Making
sits,
some improvements when you start selling the property and the
right, I think one of the reasons, you correct me, we haven't made any road improvements, waiting to see if there is a development.
Right.
We'd hate to do something with the road and then the development come in and it not match up. We'd rather do it at the same time, if I'm correct.
yes, so that is correct. The project itself is probably these days $2 million or more. And so the deal with the developer at the time was we were going to do a 50-50 match. Costs obviously have increased. And so the reason why the money is there is because y'all allocated it towards this project. We've not brought you back an alternative yet to reallocate. And so if council desires to reallocate it, it's within your purview. If you desire to maintain it here with the hopes that we can partner with another new developer, that also is within your purview. So we can take that direction from y'all at any point in time you see fit to take action.
Can we move the funds back into the Steve Ballou Fund just until such time that we're, like, so that they're available to a different project within the county?
Yes, that would be within council's. We would have to read an action item, but yes, that is within y'all's ability to do.
That would be my wish.
And that is the point, that is the source of origin, if I remember correctly, with Steve Ballou Funds.
Do something with it.
Okay, any other questions? I think that's all. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, that's the end of my committee work.
So that comes up to Monier.
Public Safety and Judiciary Committee, I'm the chairman. The other members are the Honorable Grant DeShields and the Honorable Paul Abbott. Item A is receive information and render first reading toward ordinance amending Chapter 30, Article 2 of the Spartanburg County Code of Ordinance entitled Noise. There is a presentation from Captain Tim Metz, but I would ask that, based upon time and that I think there will be a desire from council to do some editing, that we skip the presentation if that's okay.
Fair enough with these, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm checking.
For clarification, are you seeking to postpone the action item, or you're simply seeking to vote but skip the presentation?
We'll move first reading, but we'll skip the presentation until we have until council's ideas and objections are taken into account, if that's okay with the committee.
Could we make a motion to amend at this point?
Yes, I would believe so. Do you want to do that through this
We'll need-
process, or do you want to do something?
We would need first a motion to render first reading, and then once y'all have done that, then you can amend as part of that process, and then presumably you would vote to approve as amended. If I've got that procedurally correct. I'm not an attorney, but we have some here.
No, we can wait till the second reading.
Okay. If that's,
Yeah, that's fine. It'll give us time to look at all of these. Again, I'm willing to go first reading just as a technical move to get the process started, knowing that we are going to amend these.
That's correct.
then I will entertain either motion.
Make a motion to amend, make a motion to read.
Second?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch what the motion was.
Make a
First
motion for
reading.
the reading.
Okay. Having heard a motion and a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of rendering first reading to the ordinance, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends to render first reading to the ordinance.
For full council, is there any questions or discussion on this ordinance? All in favor of rendering first reading, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? First reading it is.
Item B, to receive information, take desired action in reference to a request from the Risk Management Department to create a part-time pool of transport operators. I would ask that we skip the presentation if that's the will of the committee. If not, we can go forward with a presentation.
I'm agreeable.
Then I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion?
I'll second.
The motion is that a motion to approve the request?
Motion to approve.
Haven't heard a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The ayes have it, Mr. Chairman. The committee recommends that you approve the request.
Full council, is there any discussion? Any questions? All in favor of approving the request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries.
Item C, Sheriff's Office presentation on flock camera systems. I believe that this was a presentation that was a carryover from the 2 meetings ago before the cancellation. I believe that there were some other duties of the sheriff. I think he has sent someone in the place of Mr. Cheeks, but I would just ask that we roll this over to another meeting because of time, if that's the will, if that's agreeable to the other committee members.
So
Agreeable.
Agreeable.
All right. Item D, receive information and take desired action in reference to a request from the Spartanburg Elite Track and Field Team to solicit funds from motorists on Saturday, March the 7th, 2026, between the hours of 9:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. at the entrance to Peachwood Center Drive between McDonald's and Academy on the sides of Warren H. Abernathy Highway and between Ingalls and Mobile Gas Station on South Blackstock Road. Also between the ABC store and Murphy Gas Station on North Blackstock Road, Spartanburg, South Carolina. I will entertain a motion to approve the request.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Hearing a motion in a second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it, Mr. Chairman. The committee, the committee recommends the approval of the request.
for full council, is there any questions here? Those in favor of approving the request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Request is approved.
Item E, receive information and take desired action in reference to a request to authorize the commission of Christopher F. Thompson as a Spartanburg County Code Enforcement Officer in the Property Maintenance Division of the Environmental Enforcement Department. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the request?
Second.
Haven't heard a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Mr. Chairman, the ayes have it. Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends that we approve the request and commission of Christopher F. Thompson.
For full council, does anybody have any questions? All in favor of approving the request, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Request is approved.
Item F is a discussion of the Citizens Review Committee. I believe that I have spoken with council members and continue to ask them or advocated for their consideration of this. Given the length of this meeting, I think that this discussion should be rolled over to next meeting if that's the desire or agreeable of the rest of the committee.
Agreeable.
Agreeable.
Thank you. And that ends, is G real?
G is just your normal reports in your backup.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Land Use Committee, Grant DeShields, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Discuss and recommendations to the Spartanburg County for performance zoning ordinance, Todd Oliarki. Say it for me one time, because I know I get your last name wrong.
I was hoping I was going to get skipped tonight,
Man,
but I'm happy to present
it's
with
late,
y'all.
brother.
Todd Okalachany, I'm thankful to have a
a short first name, so I think my parents heard that. I'm here tonight to provide an update of where we are with our project that we started last summer to evaluate the performance zoning ordinance, or PZO. As you may know, the county currently operates under a 2 zoning ordinance system, which is unique. About 86% of the county is regulated by the Unified Land Management Ordinance, or ULMO, and the other 14% is regulated by the Performance Zoning Ordinance, or PZO. Since the adoption of the PZO and enactment of it in the year 2000, there have been a number of challenges and issues that have been expressed to staff. And now that we've had a few years to evaluate what's working well and also to identify some of those issues that have been expressed to us, I think overall the PZO, there are many positive elements of it, but just some of the issues that have been expressed to us related to how land is developed, we think it's really important to address those issues with a goal ultimately of getting to one countywide ordinance. As you may recall, the council strategic plan has identified potentially rolling out the PZO countywide and getting to one zoning ordinance in the future. So the recommendations that we'll be reviewing tonight is, I think, getting us one step closer to that end goal that council has in their strategic plan. In terms of the planning process for this, the recommendations I'll review this evening are zoning text amendments to the PZO, and it would only apply to the southwest area of the county, which is where the PZO applies to today. And starting last summer, though, in terms of our engagement process, staff hired a consultant team. We conducted a number of interviews with various stakeholders to solicit input on the PZO and kind of hear some of the concerns that folks had. We held various stakeholder focus group meetings last fall. Staff presented, along with our consultant team, presented to the Land Use Committee in December. And then we provided updates to the Planning Commission in January and February of this year. Our next step after this evening is to hold a public hearing at Planning Commission on March 3rd, and that would be followed by first, second, and third reading at County Council. So what I'm going to review tonight is just a snapshot of what I think are some of the more substantive recommendations that staff has evaluated with our consultant team. The first image shows what we call a test site if you apply the current zoning regulations to a current piece of property. This particular property is located along an arterial road, and one of the central elements of the PZO is that it aims to try to direct higher intensity activity along roads that have infrastructure. So arterial collector roads are really meant to receive the highest intensity uses, which could be commercial activity, multifamily, industrial, manufacturing, warehousing, and those sorts of uses. But what we've been finding is that one of the challenges in the PZO is that it's not always working the way it was intended to initially. And this example of applying standards to a food services type establishment, there was actually a proposal at one time for the site to have a fast food restaurant. And basically the current PZO regulations would prevent that style of development from occurring on a site like this. The setbacks are quite extensive to the various property lines. And as you can see in this image, there's a lot of green space that kind of separates the building from the property lines, but there also isn't a lot of screening or buffer or vegetation to really even screen that use from the adjoining activity. So this is one example of that we've identified of where we think the PZO could use some updating. And the next slide will show how we would achieve that for this particular site. Under the recommendations that staff and the consultant team have, essentially, we would be getting back to what the PZO's current intent is. It's to encourage this higher intensity type of development along roads like this arterial road that, as you can see, has several lanes for cars. And this type of use is really appropriate for the type of roadway that it's currently located on. The recommendations would essentially provide more developable area on a property like this. And the trade-off for that would be that we would be enhancing, increasing the quantity and types of landscaping. So you can see, again, kind of going back to the initial image, this is an example of what the PZO would allow today, and then comparing to the recommendations that staff and our consultant team has, which would give more developable footprint, would allow a fast food type restaurant to occur on the site, while also providing what I think would be quite an adequate buffer between this use and the adjacent residential uses. Another recommendation, as you could see on here with just that additional green area and some of the plantings, is that we would also be looking to enhance landscaping along the roadway as well. And that's what's identified as a frontage yard in that image. This is a different...
I just want to say, Mr. Chairman, I mean, we go on as long as you want. I am not keeping up with the finer points of this. Just know that I'm not going to be, I'm going to need another presentation at this point. I am not retaining this information.
Since we are in this late hour, we've been at it quite a while. And so we will go back and review this on the next planned area. We are looking at an official reading March the 3rd.
I mean, if we got to do something, we got to do it. I'm just saying, I would just be honest, I'm not retaining as much.
Okay,
So if you want me to be educated.
We need to approve the bar.
You still got old business and quite a few other action
We got
items.
a ton.
What have we got left?
But we still got a lot to go.
We got a ton.
Right.
Really?
Jack's got to go too.
Bro, the thing they all came for ain't even happened yet.
There's still a lot of pages here.
I told you guys about that.
It's a good try.
And I don't mean to
It's a good try,
disrespect
Mo.
nobody else.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just saying,
yeah.
I'm not catching it no more. And when you talk about bushes and stuff, I said,
That's right. I understand completely.
I just say I think we do only the things we got to do at this point. Otherwise, I don't know that I'm doing, at least for me, I'm not doing my role as actually being a decision maker. So I would say that.
Yeah, I need to get this one done.
So, as a committee chairman, we'll make a motion to move this back to the next, if that's agreeable, to the next meeting.
Manny, it's your committee.
That's all I have right there.
Yeah. See, go with that.
Jack.
I'm just a member, though.
All right,
You're
so
the
we're moving
chairman.
on to Jack.
Okay, Public Works and Buildings and Grounds Committee, myself, Jack Mabry, Jessica Coker, and the Honorable Manning Lynch. First off is receive information, take desired action in reference to an ordinance finding that StarTex Jackson, Wilford, Duncan Water District, South Carolina may issue not exceeding $32,800,000 in general obligation bonds in one or more series to authorize StarTex Jackson, Welford, Duncan Water Commission to issue such bonds as provide publication and notice of said findings and authorization. We got Brad Love, the presenter. Hey, Brad, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I would say we render first reading to the ordinance.
First reading.
We got a motion to render first reading.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? No, all those in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, committee recommends I so move. We consider committee recommendations.
Full council. Everybody cool?
SJWD is doing some really good work.
Yes.
That's what we need to do.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, I'll add for the benefit of the community members here, we had at least 5 council members who had extensive one-on-one briefs, so they're very well versed in terms of what's going on here.
Right. Okay. The next is to receive information.
We got to vote full council on item A.
Full council on item A.
Yeah, okay.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item A is done.
I'm trying to roll, Jessica.
I'm sorry.
To receive information, take desired action in reference to a resolution calling for a public hearing to be held upon questioning the issuance of not exceeding $32,800,000 on general obligation bonds for the SJWD Water District.
I move we adopt the resolution.
We got a motion to move. Need a second?
Manning.
Well, okay, so I'll second that.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, committee recommends, and I so move, Mr. Chairman, that we consider the committee recommendation.
Full council, any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries.
Okay, I guess the Billy Cothran, is Billy here? Okay. Huh? Item C, to receive information, take desired action in reference to a resolution to hold a public hearing to consider to modify the boundaries of StarTech's Jackson Welfare Duncan Water District. Presenter is Billy, Billy's here. He is the CEO of SJWD Water District. Good afternoon, evening.
I mean, do y'all have any questions for Billy? But I would move we adopt the resolution. They're going to hold public hearing,
Got a
and they've
motion to-
notified these parcels.
Right.
So they're going to be available to take comment from these parcels directly.
Right, so we got a motion, and I need a second.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, the committee recommends, and I so move that we consider the committee recommendation.
Full council, anybody got any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any
Thanks,
opposed?
Bill.
Item carries.
Let's see. That looks like me.
I move we move Scotty K's presentation to next month. Sorry, guys.
Thank
I'm
you,
really
Kelly.
looking forward to it, but
Yep.
nothing against you.
Good, thank you.
I second that
You
motion.
got a baby, too.
We got a motion and a second, we're good. Okay.
Oh, I'm not in your committee,
No,
sorry.
you're not, thank you.
Sorry.
But that's
I
fine, keep
didn't
moving
think-
it.
There's no action
We're good.
requested on those, so there's no action required to postpone.
No. Okay.
Can we get a motion to adjourn?
No, we got.
All right, we got to do the bar.
No. We got to do.
We still got a bunch
We're
left.
moving capital penny update too. Okay, moving capital penny update.
Yes,
Okay,
second.
all right. Public comment radio.
Whole public comment period still.
Yep, got a whole public comment there. Okay.
Which
Yeah, now's the
question?
3 minute. Now's the 3 minute for,
There's a whole public comment.
that's the, yeah.
Bathroom breakout.
I know. Can we pause for a bathroom break? Or y'all want to keep going?
Yeah, no, go ahead. That's you. Yeah.
5 minutes.
We're gonna take a 5 minute pause for a restroom break.
Well, they ought to take a video of this and just put it in the Robert Rules of Order. I mean, this was top-notch work from Spartanburg County Council on how to run a meeting, baby. Just top-flight meeting work. Man, you see what kind of asset I could have been on the Economic Development Committee, explaining with people, backing you up. What? Shit, this was tough. This is my head's been hurting. Saw my blood sugar rose. It's probably
About to freeze to death. It's the cold air coming out of our feet.
Yes, they're cold air. Yeah. This is. And I got. What's your talking about? They're free to do their Another peep of outburst when we're saying, oh, ain't nobody around here. Is this how you persuade? Do you think this is how you persuade somebody to do it this way?
Not tonight, but this is my constituent Jim Reinhardt.
What happened to that, brother?
I think he's contacted you over.
Okay. Got a pointed shit. Did I miss something? My cell phone's on the top there in case you don't. Actually, this lady right here.
Hello, Paul Abbott. My councilman.
I'll get you my schedule. She's the one that makes sure I'm straightened up. But I'd love to talk to you about anything else.
I've been here asking for money. I'll let you know.
It's so candy. What the heck?
Hanging on.
No, I'm dying. Dying. Super, super.
I got a wedding. My son finally lose some weight. Can't wait.
I got one in May. I'm doing the same thing, my brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're gonna be in all the pictures and stuff. I was like, oh God, I gotta get all this baby weight.
My son is, he'll be 31 here the week before the wedding. A week after the wedding. He'll be 31. I can't wait for him to get there. Really like her. She's really sweet girl. CPA. Yeah.
Goodness.
Bachelor's degree from the University of Florida. She's a gator. That's her only drawback. She took a
Are they
job.
staying here?
She works in my office with my wife. She said if we're going to work in a lifelong, Emily Gale. Yeah, I can't wait for it. I'm excited. They bought the house next door to us. She went to work for my wife. She walks to work every day.
That's awesome.
She likes babies. I've got my fingers crossed.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for anything better than
I know it. It's been great so far. It's
You're
been
so
great.
lucky.
I
Count
feel
your
it.
blessings right there, sir.
I worked with my dad for 30 whatever years, and he's come on since he got out. He actually was to be a coach. He's been a teacher. It's been great. So me and him working on a car. He bought him a 70 Mustang.
Oh, that's awesome.
And me and him redoing it. That's what we're going to leave the wedding in. We're going around 2.5 years. Jessica.
Thank y'all for coming to order, and we're going to try to have some public comment. If we can stay sane in here and respectful of each other. First one I've got down here, this is a 3-minute per speaker. Jim Herzog. Is Jim not here? Stephen Christensen.
I was going to comment on the flock camera. Is that still appropriate for this?
That'd be great.
Okay. Well, my name is Steve Christensen, and I live at 262 Carriage Gate Drive in Welford. And I oppose the flock camera system for the following reasons. 1, it poses a threat to our liberty and privacy. It carries on mass surveillance of innocent people by tracking more than just license plates, make, model, color, bumper stickers, dents, and other unique features, digital trails of vehicle and pedestrian movement. It creates AI-driven suspicion based on analyses of movement patterns and random details leading to false accusations. It lacks accountability through easy access to data, limited oversight, and insufficient legal safeguards. I served as a chaplain for 16 years in a jail. I understand the need for safety and security while in the jail. And while I was there, I appreciated the camera surveillance. There's also no expectation of privacy in the jail. But I don't live in a jail, and I don't want to be treated like an inmate. I don't want politicians to turn Spartanburg County into a jail. But that is what the surveillance system does. And just because we exercise our right to move about freely in the public realm does not mean that we give up our God-given, constitutionally protected rights. 2, flock imposes an additional and unnecessary financial burden on the taxpayers. These cameras are expensive, ranging from $2,500 to $5,000 per camera per year. These cameras are unnecessary because most residents of our county are law-abiding citizens. On any given day, maybe 800 or so inmates are in our jail. That's out of 380,000 people. This is not even 1% of the population of our county. Don't be deceived. These cameras spy on mostly law-abiding citizens. And we're supposed to pay for this? What's wrong with this picture? If anyone needs surveilling, it's those who hold public office to assure they serve, to ensure that they serve us, the public, and not themselves. 3, flock subverts the Republican form of government by which those in public office have been chosen by the people to represent them. We call them public servants. You know, government of, by, and for the people. Flock uses a criminal surveillance system to spy on the law-abiding majority, which poisons the attitude of public officials against the people. Public servants then usurp the limited power given to the people, and they begin to think and act like they are the masters. Examples of abuse of flock surveillance is personal use, stalking, surveillance of protected activities, illegal data sharing, wrongful accusation, and using the system for random surveillance. The surveillance state is the enemy of a free society. Flock is part of the surveillance state. In summary, we don't want or need your invasive surveillance cameras. Thank you.
Thank you.
Todd Stevens.
I would say good afternoon. Now I'll say good evening, and I'd also say next time you throw a party, let me know. We'll bring the table and do library card sign-ups out in the hallway.
We'll still take a take.
We'll keep. How are you, Bob? I should say, I'm sorry, I apologize. Councilman Walker. I'm only here to say thank you. We opened up the Planetarium Learning Center on October 14th, our 140th anniversary as a library. And since that day, we've had 12,000 people come through the Planetarium Theater, as well as as well as over 4,000 people into the Maker Lab, where which is named for Kitty Black Perkins, as we all know. 4,000 people, and it's teaching skills, learning skills, and people are running their little small operations. You know, they're doing some things, and then maybe they can make a nickel selling it, or they are learning a skill. Coming up, as we are in the 250th of this country, as you have been told, we have acquired the Spartan Regimental flag. That is the flag of the Spartan Regiment for which this county and district and city were all named for. Through the power of private partnership, we have this flag. It's in Philadelphia, having some work done to it, and will be brought here for an unveiling, and it is ours. And that is the role of your library. Yes, we provide information for lifelong learners, for those who are looking for entertainment with reading, story times, teen programs, adult services. However, it's also broader. It's much broader than that as it relates to acquiring our story and presenting our story, and that is what we are doing. And I am grateful to this body because for me, in this position for 25 years, you have continued to appoint a board of trustees that approaches their work with all seriousness and with an attitude towards stewardship. And with that, I am very much appreciative. So thank you.
Thanks, Todd. How about Lee Lancaster? Have I got a Lee Lancaster? Going once?
Can someone else use your time?
Do what?
Can someone else use the time?
Let's don't get into that.
Why not?
Because I said so and I'm in charge. How about Alexa Newman?
I don't know. Coming back, but my lipstick's gone. And I'm about to hungry all over myself, but I do want to just say thank you to Spartanburg County because I work for a nonprofit and we have just recently, in about last year, moved into a new building completely debt-free, a $2.3 million investment in the county, and we help girls and dads, moms and dads that are products of unplanned pregnancy, and we're helping moms be better moms, dads be better dads. We've hired a male on our staff to work with the dads. Every month we give away diapers and formula to anybody in the community that needs it. All of our services are free. And we've just bought the property next to us where we've got plans for more community services. And I just want to thank Spartanburg County because you've been generous and gracious to us and just made it possible for us to be successful. And we thank the Lord for what He's done because He's brought all the money that we've needed and the people that we've needed. And y'all have been, most of you have been to our office, and we thank you for that. But I wouldn't have your job for all the tea in China. I'll keep mine. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Alexa. How about Angela Adams?
Hi, I'm Angela Adams. This is my first meeting, and it's been entertaining. It's been fun. And you know what? I'm proud to be part of the democratic process here. It's awesome. This town is awesome. I haven't been here but 5 years, but I'm glad to see it all. Anyway, I just wanted to bring up some points. You can make this really easy. We really have an understanding of data centers and what their problems are. So there's great bills in the Senate coming through South Carolina, copy their homework, add it to your contract. It'll cover all of these concerns everybody's talking about, and if it doesn't, add in whatever you need to add in. And by the way, you can get AI to write your programs for you. Real easy. But once all that safety and all of these people are taken care of, the way they have to be, no matter what business you're opening here, don't give away our tax dollars. There's an unbelievable opportunity that's happening in the world, as you know. With AI-driven enterprises commanding 1/3 of the total U.S. stock market, the window for infrastructure is being measured in months, not years. Getting to market immediately is a race to provide the essential utility that powers $2.5 trillion in global spending right now. Every day of delay is a missed opportunity to get into a sector that is driving the mass majority of global wealth creation. Jerry has the equipment, he has the contracts, he has the funding. Now he wants to move. He's got to move. There is the AI industry, as of February 2026, has a global backlog of millions of GPUs sitting on the shelf collecting dust, waiting to be plugged into data centers. Jerry needs us more than we need him.
Amen.
Don't give away the tax dollars. You need them.
Fair point.
Thank you.
Hugh McMillan? Hugh McMillan going twice? He's left. Okay, sorry. We'll invite him back sometime. Justin Beardsley? He's not here either? Okay. Kathy Rogers? Kathy Rogers wants to talk about noise. Is she here? Don't see her. Courtney McLean.
Good evening. My name is Courtney McLean, and I'm a lifelong resident of Spartanburg County, and I'm currently running for South Carolina's 4th Congressional District, and I'm speaking in opposition of Project Sparrow. It is clear that outside of the people who are making money from being in support of this project, that the overwhelming majority of county residents do not want this data center. As an elected official, you were elected to represent the interests of the people who voted you in, not corporations who were lining their pockets while the residents paid the bill. These centers are destroying communities across the country with smog in the air, water faucets and wells going dry, constant noise pollution, and skyrocketing electricity bills, and yet this center is somehow supposed to be different? Duke Energy has already increased rates by 8% to improve the grid in South Carolina. Data centers make millions of dollars each year, so why are we, the consumer, footing the bill to build a stronger grid for centers that we did not ask for, rather than our representatives advocating for and or passing laws that would require the centers to pay fully for their impact and the cost of the power grid, and to pay upfront for any new infrastructure needed to power them? Our state legislature has 2 bills that are moving through committee related to regulating data centers in order to protect the communities that they are coming into. They are H4583 and Bill S867. Before we allow another data center into our communities, let these bills pass through the House and the Senate so that proper regulations can be set in place to protect us. Counties in our neighboring state of Georgia have created referendums where voters can decide whether or not the data centers can come into their communities. So why not we let our voters who will be impacted by these centers vote and decide if we want them here? So in conclusion, let the people vote on this, make corporations pay their fair share of the bill, and delay this vote indefinitely.
Please don't have the outburst. I mean, we have a lot more fun if we stop that. Edward Jenkins. No Edward Jenkins. Corey O'Haney? Corey O. How's that? Do what?
Number 11, I think you skipped 2.
No.
On page 3.
I've got Mary Dowd.
Yes.
No, Mary? Is this Mary? Okay. Hey, Mary.
Hello again. My name is Mary Dowd from District 4. Can I cede my time to somebody else?
No.
No? Okay. Sorry, I should have this pulled up already. Sorry, I think the microphone wasn't on when I started. My name is Mary Dowd, and I'm a resident of District 4. I'm here to ask the council to put a pause on the Project Sparrow ordinance and put a moratorium on data center FILOs. We first need to establish an ordinance that protects us against irresponsible data center developments. Don't let anyone tell you that no one builds irresponsible data centers anymore. Elon Musk built the massive Colossus AI data center in Memphis a mere 2 years ago. It uses 5 million gallons of water per day and burns methane gas for the power generation, which is illegal for data centers to do according to the EPA. And they've been getting away with it for 2 years. The people of Memphis may never see justice and accountability because they're up against the richest man in the world. That being said, I think the council's efforts should be focused on putting something in place that protects us from being taken advantage of before moving forward with any more of these high-risk projects. Thank you.
Hugh McMillan, did I call that one before? He's not here.
Yeah, number 12.
Page 3, number 12.
Emily Poole. Emily Poole.
All right. Good evening. My name is Emily Poole, and I'm the upstate staff attorney at the South Carolina Environmental Law Project, where our mission is to use legal expertise to protect land, water, and communities across the state. I am here to share my concerns regarding the fee in lieu of tax agreements that you are considering for Project Sparrow. I will note that the public hearing for this agenda item, as advertised according to law, said all interested persons would be allowed to speak. That is not what happened. I urge you all to remedy this deficiency by holding the full public hearing promised in March. But to the comments I had prepared for tonight. South Carolina law recognizes that FILO agreements should only be used in specific circumstances and therefore requires that certain conditions be met before a FILO is established. Specifically, state law mandates that the proposed project benefit the general welfare of the locality by providing services, employment, recreation, or other public benefits, and that the benefits of the project be greater than the costs. Unfortunately, Project Sparrow will not provide services or recreation to the surrounding community and is only expected to employ 50 people, many of whom will not be hired locally. This begs the question, what public benefits does this data center truly bring to Spartanburg County to justify the FILOs? In contrast, many public harms are confidently expected as a result of Project Sparrow. A whole host of negative environmental and energy impacts stem from data centers, which guzzle both water and energy in astronomical amounts. This places a strain on essential natural resources and electric capacity necessary to sustain local populations, and ultimately causes everyday people to subsidize the water and electric bills of data centers. Further, data centers produce air pollution linked to adverse health outcomes, noise pollution that can be heard 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, and thermal pollution as heated water is discharged into waterways that disrupts ecosystems and habitats. How have each and every one of these public harms been considered by County Council in making the determination that the amorphous benefits are greater than the environmental, economic, health, and social costs that will be borne by your constituents if Project Sparrow moves forward? While County Council may believe the requirements for FILOs are met in this case based on the information it has received, the public has been left in the dark. Whatever information convinced you should be made immediately available to the public before these FELO agreements are signed. Information that must go beyond the simple conclusory statements offered in the company's press release. In the past few months, I have witnessed local citizen groups break their backs in the search for more information on this project, all while my Freedom of Information Act request to the county has been willfully ignored. This lack of transparency is unacceptable when the county is considering a project that could change so many lives for the worse. I urge you to fully meet the requirements of the FELO statute and to provide all pertinent information to the public so that a transparent, reasoned, and legal decision can be made. Thank you.
I think we're done. I think we're done.
One more.
I don't see one.
We have one more. That's the lady that wanted to speak.
This guy's not here. He's not here. We're good.
You got 11 and 12. This is done, so pay us past that.
Anybody want to make a motion to adjourn or do the bar or whatever?
We still have old business, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, we got old business still.
We got old business and we have our first council response conference.
Mo, I know you're waiting on that.
I am, 'cause that's why I cleared out many.
Cleared your calendar, did you?
I think it's important. Is that open now, Mr. Chairman?
Let me do the, where's the old business?
Council's response.
Council's response. Yeah, well, that's it then. Go, Mo.
Oh, that's what I thought. So, first, I'd like to, I enjoyed the comments of the individual that talked about the flock cameras. And I could not agree with those comments more, about a surveillance state, about the use of resources. But if you're gonna, I wonder why, and I guess I should say, officers, because this is council's time to respond. I sat quietly and listened while everybody else did. So officers, obviously, please keep decorum in this room for us. I couldn't agree more about the officer, please remove this lady. Get her out. All right, thank you. All right, thank you, ma'am. Hey, those shorts are disrespectful. So thank you. So the flock man, I couldn't agree with you more, but then I wonder, why don't you have the courage to say, why did you say politicians? That's a request from the sheriff's office that we then fund for those cameras. Nobody came up here and decided we wanted these cameras. That's a response to the sheriff's office. But then you come up here and make comments and you say politicians. No, the sheriff's office asked for those cameras. And so I'm happy to not fund those cameras. The sheriff's office was going to have somebody come here today and present on why they need those cameras and will need more of those cameras in the future. So why not be honest and be courageous and say, I disagree with the request from law enforcement. Law enforcement wants to have a surveillance state in Spartanburg County. Law enforcement wants to use that because it's not popular. You wouldn't have got 15 people clapping for you if you would have said law enforcement wants to use those cameras. And so I am more than happy to scrub any request about those cameras from any budget. I don't know if my fellow council members are, but I absolutely believe that we are tending more and more and more toward a surveillance state in these United States. And so I'm more than happy to talk with you in the future about that. I heard the second lady, which was very interesting, that talked about the coming age of AI, basically, all the things that are positive, all the advantages that are going to come from this. And I don't know, to be completely honest, whether or not the advantages of AI are going to outweigh any potential risk. I know what information that I receive and have so far received from the people who do power, from the people who do water, and who otherwise have no one has said before that Duke Energy doesn't know what they're doing, or Spartanburg Water and those don't know what they're doing. That's the information that I have to work with. I have instructed our staff, and I am doing it again. We have to get common facts in this community. We have to have the same playbook about how much water is being used. All these individuals come in here and they talk about vast amount of water is being used. The information I've received that these systems are like the radiator in your car. They're they're very efficient, that they use a total amount less than a Lowe's or Home Depot, and that once the system fills up, like a radiator that works properly, you don't fill them up again. Is that true or not? I don't know. I'm not an expert in those things. I have to rely on expertise. The funny part is the people that bring the counter position, they never have expertise. They're not water engineers. They've never brought me these scientific descriptions. They're more the people that are yelling, who are coming and sort of yelling and not trying to have a very reasonable or persuasive debate. That's what I have seen so far. I will tell you that I have been very much, and there are lots of people that are very much trying to figure out, is this the right thing to do, and have not made up their mind. The people who came in opposition to Project Sparrow today push me in the opposite direction of their position, because it seems like they are more willing to use the power of mob voices than the power of persuasion. Nobody in this room came. There are very few people, and even the young lady, one of the people here is a woman that is my church member, and I hope to be my next congresswoman. But when do you come up to a group that you expect to persuade and attack them? Or even if you wanted to have a date with somebody, would you come up and talk to them in the way that you're doing? Are you ultimately seeking your goal of persuading someone? I know I have spent the last multiple months trying to figure out and talking to experts. I rarely hear people on the other side say they've come up here and talked to experts. I have talked to some people like Michael Brown and Harold Mitchell, who have expertise in environmental justice and are on the other side of this issue. They do not talk like the people who came today to talk. I know there are people on this council who have opposite positions. They don't talk about Project Sparrow in the way that you've talked today. So I don't know if you are aiding your cause in the way you are engaging with people that are very much still trying to figure out what direction they want to go on this project. And the last thing I want to address is, Mr. Staff, if we have not responded to some kind of Freedom of Information Act request, make sure that we please do. I'm sure all the attorneys in this room remember our oath of civility and our requirement to not make accusations that are not, that our requirement that when we talk in public, we have to speak in fact more than even a regular person. So either someone is not doing what they're supposed to do as an attorney, or we are not doing what we're supposed to do in responding to a Freedom of Information Act request. So let's make sure that if we're in the wrong there, that is righted. Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Very well said.
I want to share with you. I know y'all probably wish that I'd be quiet and sit down and not say anything. I must. I grew up in a poor family in Landrum. Lived on a farm. Went to Carolina to college. And I was selected to join the Air Force in Columbia. I also had opportunities to serve the Lions Club, the world's largest service program, working with people. Every week I'm visiting with somebody trying to help them that needs help. And I also, like I said, served in the Air Force for a number of years. I had the opportunity to fly and train guys coming in the Air Force to fly. I'm a country boy. All I ever messed with was a mule when I was growing up. I did have a tractor, but I never had an airplane. But we need to work. My phone is available. Anytime you got a problem, you don't like something I've done, I'm not gonna get mad at you. I wanna talk to you. I wanna know why. If I need to help you, that's what I'm told. The people elected me. That's who I work for. If you're in my district, you are the people that elected me. And it hurts. It hurts me right now. Because I'm working right now trying to help a lot of our people that are veterans that need help. They served our country. Some of them died. But we need to worry about helping people. If you think I don't need to be here, just say so. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. If I don't do what you want, I understand. But please, give me time. I'll visit with you. I know some of you called me over to Lyman. I went over there, checked on something. I don't mind to do it. I'll try to contact somebody that knows what to do to come out and see you. So please, I respect you. I respect you. I'm not saying that you're not being stupid, but please, let's work together. Let's work together. And I appreciate you. You got my number. And I'll be glad to come visit with you anytime. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, this is our first venture at council response to public comment. So I have a question. Is our response to what has been said, or when we get to second readings, is there going to be a discussion at that point, or do I need to make discussion now?
I think I'll let it be your prerogative, but whatever you...
Okay, well, if we can discuss when we get to the actual item, second reading, I only have one thing, and I would thank Ms. Poole. I had that exact language and wording. There are legal requirements to FELOs, and I don't know that we may have been, looking at those. We may have not, but we have to provide services, employment, recreation, or other public benefits not otherwise adequately provided locally. And then her last point, D, the benefits of the project are greater than the cost. So I just point out, again, there are legal requirements to FELOs that we need to be taking a look at as we do. Thank you.
Who's next? Nobody?
Okay, we'll start
Old business.
First item is to render second reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of amended and restated fee in lieu of tax agreements by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and Tiger Ridge Industrial Owner LLC with respect to certain economic development property in the county, whereby such property will be subject to certain payments in lieu of taxes and other matters related thereto.
Move we render second reading to the ordinance.
Second. A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next item is to render second reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of 2 fee in lieu of tax agreements by and among Spartanburg County, South Carolina. This is HG Tiger DC 1 LLC, Project Spiro SC1 JV LLC, Project Spiro SC1 JV Property LLC, HG Tiger DC 1 Property LLC, HG Tiger DC 1 Personal Property 1 LLC, HG Tiger DC 1 Personal Property 2 LLC, and HG Tiger DC 1 Personal Property 3 LLC, previously identified as Project Spiro with respect to certain economic development property in the county, whereby such property will be subject to certain payments in lieu of taxes, including the provision of certain special source credits and other matters related thereto.
I move we render second reading to the ordinance.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Is any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, we got
Discussion.
discussion.
Yeah, this is what I
didn't hear
requested
it.
to have. Yeah, I'm
That's
sorry,
what he
I
was talking
didn't
about
jump
before.
in. I just wanted to make 2 points that I had. I've looked at data centers in general, data centers, Project Sparrow, 6 ways to Sunday, it seems like. And I have boiled this Project Sparrow down to 2 points. One is the energy. I was leaning in favor of this project until Duke Power sent out its notice to, reserve or turn down your thermostats, et cetera. That changed my mind, and I don't mean to disparage any speaker that's came and presented information opposite of that. I'm not an electrician. I don't understand the grid. I don't understand megawatts, but I do understand when my power goes off. And that's what I'm concerned that, based on that notice that went out, that our grid may not be as strong as I once thought it was. I may be wrong, but that's the point that I'm hung up on, that I would be in opposition to this Project Sparrow. The other is the FILO. I think that this is a bad business deal. I think we can get more than 4% if council chooses to pass it. This is an industry that makes billions, and I'm for people making money, but to give a tax rate of residential, I don't think that's the best business deal the county can make. So I just want to make those 2 points. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a vote now. Anybody else got anything to say?
I don't know, is there other people?
Anybody else wants to?
I'll say my part is that I like people to hear my reasoning, because I think that's the most important thing they can have from a public official. I use AI in my business. Before I knew that this was coming down the pipeline, I talked to staff about what I thought revolutionary AI could be, and wanted to see if we had some way to get a competitive advantage here related to our ability to access power sources, transcontinental power, and our ability, if we could do it well and sort of get an early advantage like we have in the automotive trade. So I was and am inclined to believe that we don't run from technologies, that when your communities that are constantly adapting and bringing in new technologies are going to be the ones that win. I've never heard the person who stayed away from the internet or didn't use the cell phone or didn't embrace the electrical car. I've never heard them be the winner of the story. So I was predisposed to AI, but then I heard all these people sort of being angry about it, and I said, well, it's kind of my belief that we don't incentivize things where there's not a consensus around it, right? If there's this much opposition, then just if they want to come, they want to come. And that's where I sat for a long time, and maybe that's where my ultimate decision is. Maybe that's where my ultimate decision will be. But I have talked to people that I respect on every other decision that we've done. The people, our economic development people at One Spartanburg, my understanding of where our own economic development committee is on this issue. And so I'm at least willing to let it go forward today. I do, and I've said it many, many times, I need education. I need the hard facts, and I do believe we should have the hard facts with our citizenry at the same time. We need to bring people up here and they can at least understand fully what we are hearing and making our decisions based upon. The information that is allowing me to move forward on this right now is that you have told me that the water use is, what one Spartanburg has told me is the water use is less than a Home Depot. That the water system is similar to a radiator. Fill it up once and that's done. I have listened to the people who are the power engineers who have said that somehow this actually might create some kind of scale that they can actually lower rates. If these things aren't true, this is the information you're giving me to make a decision on. And so I'm doing a workshop for District 1. I want us all to be working as a staff to get to the facts and to be open to receiving counterfacts. But of course, the counterfacts can't just be, I got on Facebook and I've decided I know about data centers. But if there is information, I've shared with this group, I shared with you all a video in which somebody who was very important to me, who was an attorney and I respect, said, have you seen this video of what happened with Facebook in Georgia? I shared that with one Spartanburg. They said, well, Mo, let me show you. The one that data center is almost 10 times the size of the data center we're doing. That data center actually used this many gallons, and we're nowhere near in that. This one does. So I have multiple times sent, and I'm going to continue to send information, and I expect us to take in counter information between now and the last vote, at least for my vote. And I will be listening to my constituents, which almost nobody in here is anyone from District 1. So my vote today is a vote to move forward and to give you time to make sure that what you've told me, you're 1,000 times true. That it's 1,000 times we are as best as we can know it to be true. That's what my vote today is, but my vote will be to at least allow this to move forward.
Yeah, I would just echo those sentiments too, Mo. I think that you make a great point. I think that Paul, I really would just urge you to have more meetings with Duke Energy and Lockhart Power and hear them out and be able to open your mind to the information that they have provided to me and provided to Jack and Manning and anybody else that's really asked for it. I really strongly urge you to because I feel like over the last week, I've heard that from you via social media posts and through the grapevine from other people that you're really like, hey, this is it. Like, I'm not going to listen to any other information. And so I would love to meet with you personally and kind of give you my insight as the wife of someone who directly works in the utility industry, but also we can bring in, other experts. Not that I'm saying, Sam, you're super educated, but not by any means an expert. But we can bring in the experts to give you that information. I think that providing more information around that text is going to open up a lot of information for you and give you a lot of context around it, and may move your point of view on that specifically. So I just urge you to keep an open mind on that. I just want to echo the sentiments that I do represent the people in my district. I have, over the last month, I have talked to thousands upon thousands of people in my district around this issue specifically. I would say probably half of the people, when I say, so what do you think about data centers? They're like, what's a data center? And that's not okay either. And so to Mo's point is that we need to do a lot more education to our citizens. I also think that to some of the points about it being beneficial for our community, I personally think that I always ask people, even if I'm asking them about the data center first, I start the conversation about what are your biggest issues with their county? And most families, which are who I'm in contact with, whether it be at school or daycare or a church and those kinds of things, their issues are with our school systems. So teacher wage, the classroom sizes. And so I just wanted to point, and I always ask them, what if I was able to reduce class sizes, build better facilities, and pay teachers more without adding a single child to that system? And that just, speaks volumes to the potential that this project could have in really changing the trajectory of our education system. The same thing could be said with our fire service. So Scott Greer was here earlier, and his fire district would be the direct beneficiary of this project. But when I'm talking to him and I'm thinking about the amount of money that would come to his fire district, it's essentially equivalent to 4 new staff members. That's a quarter of his staff. That is huge. Think about the response times in our area, in my district, right? This project is in my district, and I'm talking to people in my district, and they are all, a lot of them are either don't understand, don't have the information, or absolutely, we need this project. It's in an industrial center. We need it to fund infrastructure. We need it to help our school systems, and we need it to help our fire service. And so I feel like I would be doing a disservice to my constituents if I voted anything but yes.
Anybody else? Thank you. I'd love to meet you. I'm sorry I didn't get back with you when you called me this time. I agree. There are obvious tax benefits. I represent part of 4 school districts, and I think the average of what a school district would receive was $250,000. So I'm talking about $1 million in my district that if this project doesn't happen. But again, the overwhelming attitude or the overwhelming information that I get from my district is we're concerned about the power. And I've read through documents that Duke Power has provided, lots of information. I had the Lockhart CEO speak at my town hall, very informative. And again, I don't dispute anything they say, but, call it simple-minded if you will, but when my people get a notice to, on the coldest day of the year, turn their thermostats down, wrap up, use blankets, etc., that just changes the conversation there. But again, I'm open to hear. Absolutely. I can be wrong. I'll admit that. Thank you.
I guess my thought is, it's the fear of the unknown. Most of us don't know much about data centers. I tell you what, over the past 5 months, I've learned a whole lot about data centers. But on one end, you pull up the positives of data centers, and when you go to look for the positives, the next page you roll to, it talks about a lot of the negatives. And then you go to say, well, give me some negatives, and then somebody else so it's like a constant back and forth. And I kind of look at the BMW. When BMW came here, 25, 30 years ago, we were afraid that they were coming in, gonna maybe take some of our jobs. This is a German company coming in to South Carolina. How in the world are they gonna do anything that's gonna help us? Folks, let me tell you something. The fear of that unknown, we almost lost it. From my understanding, we almost lost the BMW. Could you imagine what would be kind of right now? I mean, I know we'd have found something else, I get it. But just knowing that the BMW is out there, we were just afraid that what's going to happen. We don't know 100%. I know what I've gotten from the foremost authorities in power and water. I mean, a closed loop system and talking about the radiator. And I thought, how much water does this closed loop system take? Anybody have a guess?
I do.
12,760 gallons of water. 12,700. Do you know? Well, but this is coming from both sides. 12,760. You know how much it takes to fill up a swimming pool, a 20 by 40? Anybody want to guess? 28,000 gallons.
The water they use in one day can cover 2,000.
But they're not having to change it out every day. It's like in your radiator, here's the thing, I worked at Firestone for 15 years. When a hose busted, you didn't have a shut-off on one end and a shut-off on the other, and you close that one end, you fix the hose. No, guess what? It emptied. This system will be, you shut off one end, you can service it, you got a leak, you can make repairs. So it's not like you're gonna have to do 12,750 gallons of water every day, every week, every weekend. The cooling towers, you're gonna keep recirculating this water. So, and that's more information than I ever thought I'd have on data centers. But the more we do this, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of these data centers, people say, oh, let's just don't do it at all. But a lot of people have told me, data centers is ridiculous. We don't want to do data centers. But the first place they hit is Facebook. They're loading up on Facebook. Now, what do you think the storage is going for data centers? From Facebook. Ma'am, that's fine. That's fine. I get it. We're not all going to agree. I get it. But, to me, when that same person is preaching, let's get up and jump up and down and scream inside of a county council meeting and just see how much attention and kind of draw this thing down and replace everybody. And guys, the point is, we need to work harder and learn more about these data centers. And I don't think anybody in here has all the answers. There's no way. I don't care if the engineer that left with Lockhart Power, he may have a lot of the answers for your power, but it's not definitive. It's not what? It's not definitive. He doesn't have all the answers. I think there's some things there that are the unknowns, going back to the BMWs. The fear of the unknown, sometimes it restricts us. And I don't know, I think that at times this could kind of restrict what we do and how we progress in Spartanburg County. That's all I got for right now.
You got anything?
Nothing to add. Nothing to add. No, sir.
Brother Man, let me just add one small point. And if you're listening to us and saying all those things y'all are getting quoted from Duke and all, those are lies. If that's what you're saying in your head, fine, okay. But then tell me, I need you to give me a viable alternative. How do I make decisions after this project? If Duke is lying and the water companies lie, I don't just use it on this one project. Every project has water and power needs. And where I am a lawyer, I don't do this full time. I never will do this full time. So how do I make decisions if your answer is they're lying, believe me, and you do whatever you do for a full-time living? Don't believe one Spartanburg, they're lying to you too. So then we need to have a broader conversation about how I move on to make decisions for the next 2 years while I'm on county council. Because if they're liars today, they're liars. They're just liars. And so then how do I make economic decisions for my district? And the final quick piece here is, everybody in this room, I don't see many people of color. There is no people more susceptible to environmental injustice than people of color. It has been where we have been the ones that have had sewage. What's the worst environmental thing that's ever happened in Spartanburg County? It's right there in Arkwright, poor black folk. So please believe I live here, okay? If your air is bad, my air is bad. If your rates are going up, my rates are. If your water's bad, suddenly my water's bad. And so we're all in this plane together, and I am trying to understand how to make decisions based upon knowledge. And if you're saying I can't trust all them, then you also need to come with me a plan for me to make decisions going forward. Thank you.
Going with what Mo says, we talk about the experts, we talk about where you get your information, where everything comes from. And it's hard because you're on both sides of it. You listen to both sides. You try to get the best knowledge. I've lost more sleep over this than anybody would believe. because it is a huge undertaking and a responsibility to sit in this chair up here and make decisions that somebody's not going to agree with and not going to be happy with. I grew up in the construction industry. I know of the environmental risk. I know of the unknown. I worked at everywhere from BMW to sewage plants and everything in between. I've spent my entire life building infrastructure, mostly in Spartanburg County. I've seen the weakest, I've seen wooden water lines that were still in use in Spartanburg. That's how far back it goes, that people don't see all the changes that was made. You know that it was a huge uproar in the upstate of South Carolina when they changed from wooden water pipes to steel, the unknown. It was going to contaminate everybody's water and kill us all. There was a huge uprising in it. Most people don't know about it. Those things happen. The technology is going to come in places. My biggest fear of the data center isn't what we're doing today in the vote. Are we going to vote out a good-sized data center that is efficient and wind up with 50 small ones that are highly inefficient? This is my biggest worry. If we make the mistake here, because we don't know or we don't have all the facts, or we can't trust the experts that come and tell us. When we meet with SJWD Direct, and I talked to Mr. Billy himself eye to eye, and I said, Billy, what is the truth on the water? I need to know tell me exactly what's going on. I work for SJWD as a subcontractor. I also deal with their board directly, advisory, and he says no. The water line is not going to be upsized. It's not going to be changed. We have adequate pressure. We have more than enough water. We could do 20 of these data centers if it's all like this one. This is the information we're handed from the people in charge that we have to trust to give us the best idea. What we got in here, and it's kind of like Mo said, everybody's emotional about what you say, and I understand that. We're all passionate about what's going on here. But at the same time, nobody was bringing the facts of a modern day center like this to the table. We've arranged for trips to look at centers, the centers in Georgia, the centers in Austin, Texas, London, Kentucky, different places across the country, to spend my time away from my family trying to make the best decision for the people here to make sure we do the right thing. I was big on the postponement to give me time to visit these places and see what we need to see, to walk into these facilities and go inside, see how they're built, how they're constructed, what's going on. Anytime there's some new construction, there's always some inconvenience to somebody. And that's a lot of what you see as an inconvenience to other people. And that becomes an emotional statement more than a factual statement. The factual statements that I have show a lot of positive. While Poplar Springs Fire Department would see nearly $300,000 a year in increased revenue, total tax increase over $5 million a year that can pay for roads and bridges, because we didn't increase truck traffic, we didn't increase car traffic, didn't increase the population. Versus 600 home subdivision, where we increased it by 1,500 cars, all the people, the additional kids in our schools. Are we making a mistake because of the unknown, as he says, and at the same time, the fear of making the wrong decision haunts me as much as it does you understanding how my decision was made. I appreciate the ones that came tonight. Not everybody's in agreement, but we do appreciate the people that come out and spoke their heart and told us what they wanted to see and what they wanted to hear. We understand it's not all good and it's not all bad, but we're going to make a decision tonight to try to do the best we can for Spartanburg County.
Is it my turn?
I love the idea of a field trip too. Let's do it.
You like the idea of what?
Of a field trip.
Field trip. Boondoggle.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I like a good boondoggle. We can figure that out, I think. Let me say, and I'm sitting up here with all these eloquent speakers all around me on both sides, and I probably ought to keep my mouth shut so y'all can just think I'm stupid and not know for sure. But the thing that I know, I don't know a lot, but one thing I know is that all 7 of these people on this dais up here are serving because they want to do what's best for Spartanburg County. And there's not a soul up here that's lining their pockets. We hear that all the time. All that kind of junk. Everybody up here is sincerely interested in leaving this place better than they found it. And that I'll go to my grave with that one. That's an absolute fact. Do you want me to do the last of the old business?
You need to vote. You've got a motion and a second.
Oh, excuse me. I thought we had voted, but anyway. So, is this a vote for everybody? All in favor of the
Item B.
rendering second reading to item A?
Item B.
B. I'm sorry, B. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Okay, hold on. Help me with this, with my nose. 1, 2.
2 noes, 4 yeses.
Motion carries.
Item C.
All in favor of rendering third reading to that ordinance?
No, I move, so the third reading to the ordinance authorizing execution delivery of the special source credit agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and 111 Main Street LLC. And so I move we render third reading to this ordinance.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're going to go to D, render third reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and KV Final Spartanburg LLC, formerly known to the county as Project Paulina, with respect to certain economic development property in the county.
So moved.
Well, I need a motion to render.
Make a motion with approve.
Okay, I got a motion and a second. Motion from Jack, second from Manning. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Or any opposed, I guess. I always forget that part. I heard everybody, so.
You don't ask for the nays, you won't
Okay,
get
I
any.
know. Sorry. Item E, render third reading to an ordinance to authorize and approve an agreement for the development of a joint industrial and business park, Howell US Inc. Park, also known as Project Salon, by and between Spartanburg County and Cherokee County. Such industrial and business park to be geographically located in Spartanburg County and Cherokee County and established pursuant to Section 1-4-1-170 of the Code of Laws of South Carolina, 1976, as amended, and other matters relating thereto. I need a motion.
So moved.
Set a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item F, render third reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of 2 fee in lieu of tax agreements by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and SC Spartanburg Zimmerman 1 LLC, previously identified as Project Spartan, with respect to certain economic development property in the county. I need a motion to render third reading.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item G, render third reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a special source credit agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, and Drayton Townhomes LLC with respect to certain economic development property in the county, whereby such property will receive certain special source credits and other matters related thereto. I need a motion to render third reading.
So moved.
And a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. Item H, render third reading to an ordinance authorizing the execution and delivery of a fee in lieu of tax agreement by and between Spartanburg County, South Carolina, Dave Still Company, Inc., and Rystat Holdings U.S. LLC, previously identified by the county as Project Walter, with respect to certain economic development property in the county. I need a motion to render third reading.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item carries. I need a motion to approve the bar.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
A motion to adjourn, stand up.
Is that yours?